All right. What's up, everybody at AGDQ 2025? My name is Etchy. I'm going to have my couch introduce themselves really quickly.
What's up, everyone? I'm Eddaket. I ran this back in 2019, and we were told to say something nice about Bulbasaur. I just want to say he's living his best life.
Hi, everybody. My name's NewAmber. I've been speedrunning Pokemon for 10 years now. This game is my favorite game, and my favorite thing about Bulbasaur is its lovely smile.
Hi, I'm Kerbis. I am the resident Pikachu version enthusiast, and I don't have anything nice to say about Bulbasaur.
Woo! I'll say something nice later, but I'm going to go ahead and get into the game and start loading it up. We did some date time stuff. We'll talk about that later. Obviously, Eevee did win the bid war. Thank you, everyone who donated for that. We'll have more stuff to talk about donations throughout the run. But yeah, this is my favorite speedrun of all time. It is actually the game I've played the most ever, if you combine Eevee and Pikachu. Even just like casual games, even like esports type title that I've wasted too much time on. I've played these games more, and I've streamed them more than anything else. I love these games. I think they're so unique and so much cooler than most other Pokemon speedruns. Sorry, Pokemon speedrun fans out there. And we'll explain why that is and all that good stuff once we get into the run. Evoy, and then time will start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Cool. This is Pokemon Let's Go Eevee, and I can't talk too much yet because I need all those nicknames.
All right, which one are you wanting first?
The player nickname.
That is going to be Luigi with a capital L.
You got it. And then I can go ahead and take the rival one now, too.
Your rival today is the entirety of Twitch chat.
Awesome.
Your rival will be known as Chat.
Nice and easy
with a
name.
capital C.
Capital C, got it. All right, so let me go ahead and nickname those. Let's see. The nice thing is you can't actually use the keyboard for Switch games, so I'm just going to do that. Save a couple seconds there off the naming. The character you pick doesn't matter. You can pick whatever. I'm going to pick Boy 1 because it is optimal for not doing inputs, and also it's going to be actually kind of important for something we do at the end of the game. So this is going to be Chat. No, Chatty, not Chatty. There we go. Okay. And then, yeah, we're going to take the Eevee nickname in a bit. We have a little bit of time before I need it. But yeah, this is Let's Go Eevee, not Let's Go Pikachu. If you did donate for Pikachu, I appreciate it. We did show Eevee last time, but the last time Eevee was shown at SGDQ 2019, that was almost 6 years ago. The run has changed a lot since then. Eddaket over here was the runner for that. And there's so much to talk about, so much to go over. But I think you were saying before, too, like the estimate for that run was like so different, right?
Yeah, so that run at the time was considered a pretty solid marathon run. It was a 3:18. I want to point everyone to the estimate here and see how far this game has come in those 6 years.
Yeah, it's completely ridiculous. Who wants to explain options menu?
Yeah, sure. I can take options menu. So Edgy's going to be setting 4 things. First of all, text speed is too fast. Pretty straightforward. Battle animations are off. You set the battle style to set, which means that every time you defeat a Pokemon, usually the game will ask you like, oh, the next thing coming out is X Pokemon. Do you want to switch? Setting the battle style to set will make it that text box not appear. And then we are going to turn movie skipping on. So there's these like special cutscenes in the game called movies. There's like maybe like 5 of them throughout.
This is not one of them.
Yeah. Yes, they're very special. There's like 4 or 5 of them. Setting that option just allows you to skip those, which saves you a few minutes.
All right, and then we're going to actually be getting our Eevee here in just a moment. And what you're going to notice about getting this Eevee is that this is not a normal Pokemon game. If you've never seen this game before, if you've never played this game before, it is a Pokemon Yellow remake mixed with Pokemon Go mechanics. It was the first mainline, quote-unquote, Pokemon game for the Switch, released in 2018, late 2018. So it's trying to capitalize off the Pokemon Go hype. And as a result, that means all the catches are motion controls, everybody's favorite. So the good news is this one's guaranteed. You can mess it up though, but that's not gonna happen because I said that. Let me do this.
Perfect.
Yeah, so I think a lot of people play Pokemon Go out there. Very similar style. You hit for the circle. You try to get basically as late as possible. The smaller the circle is, the more likely the Pokemon is to get in. Like there I got a great, which is like the second best thing. And we'll go over into the catch mechanics more later. But what's so special about this Eevee I just caught?
This Eevee has perfect stats every time.
Yeah, and more than that too. Not only perfect stats, insanely busted attacks that we'll talk about later.
Yep.
This is not your average everyday Eevee.
Yeah.
This is the most cracked Eevee of all time, and hopefully it is not a bad nature, which is like the only variability we really have to worry about.
Yeah, the base stats of it are boosted. All of the stats except for HP are boosted by 20, and the HP is boosted by 10. Pikachu has a similar thing, but it's a little bit different of a distribution, and we are going to need the Eevee nickname.
Your Eevee nickname is capital OMG, so that just the O is capital.
Yep.
Exclamation point, he, with the capital H.
Cool.
It would have been really funny if it was a girl Eevee, but we lucked out.
So it's OMG exclamation point space
He,
Yeah,
H-E.
yeah. Like that.
Yes.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Awesome. OMG he has been added to the party. I'm not going to know what this Eevee is, if it's going to be like good or not. Typically for the speedrun, we want good nature, which just is basically modifiers on your different stats. So you can have like a plus attack nature that's also minus speed. Generally, you want anything that's like plus attack or plus special attack. Even plus speed is pretty good, but we can take anything here. It's a marathon run. If I get minus attack, which is the worst case scenario, I'll just catch extra Pokemon to make up for it, and you'll see how important that is in just a bit. But speaking of catching really quickly, I do want to say that that's the thing that makes this run special, is the catching. Kervis, you want to explain it?
Yeah, so like you was saying earlier, it's similar to Pokemon Go catching, where you're just waiting for the circle to get as small as possible to have the highest chance of success. And most of the experience the Eevee is going to get in this run comes from catching rather than battles as well.
Yeah, very different from the normal speedrun. Also, we wouldn't just catch Pokemon for no reason. It is actually required by the game. We have to get 50 Pokemon registered into our Pokedex just to enter Koga's gym. Each gym leader has some gimmick requirement. Most of them are nothing, like Erica's we'll talk about when we get there. But Koga's is extremely steep and kind of guides and dictates the entire run. So the entire run revolves around catching a bunch of Pokemon, adjusting on the fly. I forgot to grab my laptop to pull out the tracker. I will go do that now. But yes, the key part is we are going to be catching a lot of Pokemon. And that's what makes the run so special, is it's a very dynamic speed run. No two runs are alike. You're always doing something different run to run. There's always new situations that seem to come up. And I'm, again, someone who's been running this game for over 5 years now and has played this for thousands of hours. Even I get new situations and runs that cause some really interesting decision-making choices you have to make. So it's really cool to just have a run that is so fresh. And I think I've talked to people before who kind of call it more randomizer than speedrun in a way because of that.
Yeah, and it's also worth mentioning that like being forced to catch these Pokemon actually makes the run better in terms of like the actual normal Pokemon speedrun part of things. Like you're gonna see we gain almost none of our experience from trainers. If we weren't catching Pokemon, it's a miserable time. We have a category, it's a category extension called Kicked by Koga, which as you can imagine is get to Koga and get kicked out because you don't have enough Pokemon, and that is a time.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
All right, this is the first battle. There are normal battles in this game, but they are not your traditional battles, right, Amber?
Yep. So battles in this game are pretty similar to how the mechanics were in Gen 1, meaning kind of two main things. First, there are no abilities in this game, so we're not going to have any static shenanigans going on with tackling this Pikachu. And as well, there are no held items in this game, so nothing's going to have like a focus dash or anything like that.
Yeah, it basically just means the fights are not annoying.
Real quick interruption to say, we just hit $600,000 raised for the Prevent Cancer Foundation.
And speaking of $600,000, I think you can talk about what you wanted to talk about, Chibi, as we do this cutscene that shows exactly that.
Oh, absolutely. We are already getting some Dex donations, but we wanted to spice things up just a little bit. So we, as a group, have picked a Generation 1 Pokemon. So that's going to be, because we can't do 1 through 4. Pokemon Dex entries between 5 and 101. We have picked a random Pokemon. If you can guess that Pokemon via a Dex donation, we will match it.
Yep. And we just got a cutscene there about the fact that we can now pet our Eevee. You do want to talk about that as well, Chibi?
Absolutely. So that is an incentive that opened a little bit earlier. We're going to be petting that Eevee, which is an amazing game mechanic that I love about this. So it's $500 per pet. You will not believe this. You have to pet that Eevee 5 times already. Because we have raised $2,800 towards it.
Amazing.
So chat, before we pet that Eevee even more, because 5 pets is definitely a lot and Eevee might get a little overwhelmed, let's get that blindfolded incentive met first, and then we will celebrate by petting the Eevee.
Sounds good to me. And Chibi is not joking around. If you pet Eevee too much, it will get mad at you and stop letting you pet it. So that has happened to me at RPG Limit Break last year. So we're gonna break up the petting. So hopefully that doesn't happen. But if it does, it would be really funny anyway. So not the worst thing in the world. So we're getting close to our first catching segment of the run. Really quickly, something we learned only a couple years ago is there's actually a modifier in the active in the game right now. So anything we try to catch before we enter forest is actually almost guaranteed to get into the ball. And the moment we enter forest, the game says, all right, you got to actually try to hit Pokemon now. But we're not going to catch anything here. We're just going to wait till we get to forest. And I guess while we do these these early fights in the forest before we get to the catch stuff, we can do a couple donations too.
Sure, don't forget to pet that Eevee. You're actually now at 6 pets. All right, so we have $10 from Zapotic. Good luck, Etchy. It is a shame I'm not there in person for your run, but as long as you didn't leave your controller in the hall at EUIC, I think you'll be okay.
Thanks.
We have $5.09 from Sandy Beach _IRL. Hi, Etchy and others. Please do not forget to Waterstone first. We have $20 from Dynam, and they just say bonjour.
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 That may or may not come up later. So this is a plus attack Eevee minus speed, which is a little unfortunate. Speed kind of matters in like 2 spots only. The rest of the time, it's totally fine. You might just get like an extra attack here and there, and you have to heal a little bit. But we'll deal with it when the time comes. All right, here's catching. I didn't want to do this, but here it goes. Sometimes Pokemon just spawn on top of you, and you just got to deal with it. There's motion control stuff. You want to just hit for excellence. We'll break down more of the catching in just a little bit, but we can do a couple more donations.
You betcha. We have $30 from Jay Tattles. Well, 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 if it isn't Etchy. I had to donate for the boy running the clear best game, Eevee. Uh-oh. Good luck on the run. Looking forward to another surprise world record today.
That is a well-timed donation.
Wow, this is actually kind of ridiculous.
I'm doing $20 for breakout, by the way.
Also, I can't afford Umbreon, but here's $30 for the Squirtle Squad.
Just to say, on average in a run, you maybe get like 1 or 2 breakouts the entire run. And we just already had 3 breakouts right there.
That was awesome.
The game knows you're on stage.
I guess so. And it's like the worst thing to... I would have been better off running away like 30 seconds ago, but it's all good. We got
$850 to go for that blindfolded incentive.
All right, we're going to have a lot of pets very soon. But we're coming up with the lure right now. Do you want to explain that, Curvis?
Yeah, so what you just saw is the exact reason we try to wait for the lure, part of it at least. But what the lure does is it makes more Pokemon spawn, and it makes them spawn at the highest level possible for this route. So in the forest, that's level 7. It actually boosts the highest level the wild Pokemon can be by 1. So the higher the level of the Pokemon, the more experience we get from it. And in some cases, we're trying to use those Pokemon in fights. So we want them to be higher level for that as well, which will be the case for, well, no, we're not playing Pika.
Yeah, do you want to explain what Pika does differently here, Amber?
Yeah, so the main thing in forest is that Pikas, there's a grass type that you can get in the forest, and depending on the game, that grass type is different. So in Let's Go Eevee, we're going to be getting Bellsprout, and on Let's Go Pikachu, we're going to be getting Oddish. Additionally, for Let's Go Eevee specifically, you really, really need to get level 10 before we get into Pewter City, because that's the level that Eevee's going to learn Double Kick, and that is going to be very important for the proc fight.
Can I do a real quick interruption?
Yes.
We just got $10,000 from Fangamer.
Oh, my goodness.
Hey everybody, Fangamer here. We've got to hop in for a Dex number donation with the return of our stampede of 10,000 Bulbasaurs. Look at them go, Bulbasaur! This donation, which directly supports Prevent Cancer Foundation, is made possible thanks to everyone who has shopped the Fangamer AGDQ 2025 collection. We have awesome GDQ merch like the virtual attendee badge and velocity pin available at fangamer.com/GDQ.
Thank you so much. How many pets are we going to be at soon?
We are still, if I am mathing correctly, which I really hope I'm mathing correctly, we're still at 6 pets.
Okay. Whenever it's blindfold time, we can do that.
Oh, hold on. Nope. Let me do some math and I'll get right back to you.
Okay.
All right, so you may have noticed that Etchy now is using both Joy-Cons instead of only one. And that is because this game, normally you're only playing with one Joy-Con, and you can actually summon a second player, and so you can play, with a partner on a couch, something like that. Instead, we're gonna play, two controllers, one player, I guess.
Yep.
And it will boost the amount of experience you get in a catch. It will make the catch more likely to happen. Like the catch odds are going to be better. And it is also possible to use in battles, but we will see that quite a bit later on.
We just met that blindfolded 1-1
right,
incentive for
that's
Super
awesome.
Mario Brothers Wii. Thank you, everybody. Now let's pet that Eevee.
Very nice. How many pets are we looking at?
We are at 6 pets.
Okay. I will have to wait to pet until I enter the guardhouse because it lags really badly in the forest.
You need to pet now. Chat demands it.
I'm curious how bad
You're
it's
up
gonna
to 7 pets.
be. Okay. You gotta evolve faster. Come on. I think I just go and then do it.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe it's not. This isn't too bad. Okay, not too bad. Please. Why is it not? There we go. 1. Oh,
You
that
made him
counts though.
upset.
That counts
So
though.
that's
Okay.
3.
4,
4.
5, 6, 7. All right, go.
So a lot of those pets were thanks to a $500 donation from Pet the Eevee. And they just said, woo!
Woo, woo, woo.
All right, so now I am looking for the grass Pokemon that Amber was mentioning earlier. Did you mention why we need the grass Pokemon?
Oh, yeah, so we need the grass Pokemon for the gym requirements. So it was mentioned before that every gym has like this special kind of gimmicky requirement. And the one to enter Brock's gym is to show him either a grass or water type Pokemon. There are no water type Pokemon available before Brock.
Yeah. You can trade one.
True, I guess. Yeah, and the only grass Pokemon are either the Bellsprout and Eevee, or the Oddish and Pikachu, or an extremely rare Bulbasaur encounter, and that is it.
Yeah, we did not get the Bulbasaur. Sorry, Bulbasaur fans.
Yeah, so we're gonna look for Bellsprout here. We got it. Every route has a certain number of Pokemon that can spawn at a time. So this route only has 4 things. If we saw 4 things and there was no Bellsprout, Etchy would have gone back into the guardhouse and respawned the route. We call that Route 2 Roulette. There are 20 things that can spawn in the forest, which is why it lags so much.
Yeah.
But yeah, so.
All right, we did get the Bellsprout. It means we can enter Brock's gym, but unlike Pika version, we will not actually be using the Bellsprout except for like double battles where we're forced to do double battles. We did get double kick, so we can actually deal with Brock's Pokemon, confirming there that I am plus attack minus speed. And we should have a pretty clean time through Brock here. Now, you normally want more experience. Unfortunately, I think there was a glowing Pidgey, but I already caught Pidgey. You might think, oh, you want to catch a lot of Pokemon, you should, or if you want experience, maybe you want to just catch an extra of a thing you've caught. But it is unnecessary time loss to catch the same thing twice. You'll never see me do that in the run. And as a result, we just are always catching fresh things. I think in total we catch like 30 actual Pokemon, and then the rest are like evolutions or gift Pokemon.
If you've been paying attention during the wild encounters, every Pokemon has its own behaviors that it can do. Some can attack and the circle goes away for a little bit. Some can jump. So
Some
you have-
move around and teleport.
Yeah, some just fly all over the place. So each Pokemon is special. You have to know how to deal with them individually.
Yeah, and that's one of the number one things that you can just constantly get better at and improve your time in this game. The actual like Pokemon speedrun part of this game is relatively tame. It's a lot of it comes down to how well are you doing your catches, how well are you improvising, things like that.
Yeah, that's one of the things that really sets this apart from other Pokemon speedruns is not only are you catching a lot of Pokemon, because there are other runs that do that, but the skill-based mechanics of catching a Pokemon are really difficult, and it's so hard to like track how much time you're losing to catches because it's not straightforward like, oh, this fight took an extra turn, which is super easy to measure. It's things like, oh, this attack took it took an extra cycle for me to get this throw off, or maybe this Pokemon had a slightly different timing for their cycle. And we only just found out like a month ago the exact percentages of Pokemon's behavior, like if they're 60% to attack on their first cycle or something like that. So we're still learning about this game all the time. I think the skill ceiling for this game is absurdly high, nearly infinite. I think even as someone who's had world record in various of the categories for years and years, I think I'm still nowhere near as optimal at my gameplay as I could be.
Yeah, it's one of those games that has that perfect storm of a low barrier of entry. It's very easy to complete a run, but there is an insane skill ceiling to it as well.
Hey, Etchy, after this fight, can you give Eevee 2 more pets?
After I double kick Brock, sure. But yeah, I'm just going to be double kicking here through this fight. Very simple. You can do a few more donations, Chibi.
Absolutely. We have $50 from Bungie to the Tree. Hey, Etchy, so glad to see you and the crew on the GDQ stage once again. It's been a blast to support you on your speedrun and content journey over the years. It's been even better to gain you as a friend.
Aww.
I can't wait for our next chance to clash cardboard. Don't forget to come up for the Wild Cup weekend. Since we got Eevee, we can still get a P in honor of Pikachu.
Thank you, Bungie.
$25 from Swanton Soup. Let's go, Etchy.
Oh, Bungie asked for a P, sorry.
We have $50 from Pastel Punk. It's great seeing how much fun Etchy has with these games, so much that he can't stay away from them. Also, finally admitting what the superior game is. $50 for 50 pets. Here's hoping for Route 10 Chansey.
Yes, let's go. Really quickly, we can explain some shopping that we're about to do here. I guess X items is probably the best place to start.
Yeah, exactly. Right after this cutscene with Blue here, we're gonna go shopping. We're gonna buy a few things in there. We're gonna buy some Great Balls. We're gonna buy some status healing items. And we're also gonna buy some X items, specifically X attack and X special attack. And how X items work is basically you can use them in battle, and then the Pokemon stats are boosted for the rest of that battle, or if it faints. So, in short, using one X item doubles the stat, using 2 X items triples it, and then using 3 X items quadruples it. So you can tell that would be very, very powerful.
Etchy, did you do those 2 pets after Brock?
I did not.
Well, now you're up to 3.
Yeah, something that's also kind of funny about the X items is in Generation 7, this is kind of like a Generation 7 adjacent game. It was before Generation 8. And in Generation 7, they changed X items. It used to be only 1 stat stage, so instead of it doubling, it would be a 50% boost. And in Gen 7, they changed it to be a +2, but also changed the price. However, the prices in this game are the lower prices, but they keep their +2 ability, so.
Yeah, that's a total scam. So it's awesome for us. It's awesome for speedrunners.
Yeah.
That was like the most emotionless petting I've ever.
I was in the middle of explaining something.
All right, next time I'm going to have to, you need to put more emotion behind it, all right?
So yeah, entering this route now. There's a couple Pokemon we're looking for here. Ideally, actually, there's only really one on this version. On Pika, you have a couple options, but here I'm just looking for an Ekans. There's other Pokemon that spawn too, but I'm not going to necessarily catch them. You might have seen me pass Rattata earlier too, and I didn't catch that either. Do you want to who wants to explain why we don't catch things always?
I can do that. So some Pokemon are available in a large number of routes throughout the game. And in Rattata's case specifically, we just want to catch one later that's going to be at a level where we can level it up one time and it'll evolve right away, as opposed to these low-level ones here that are going to take quite a while to evolve. So we're essentially getting 2 Pokemon for 1.
And if you didn't notice earlier when I was catching Pokemon, each level up happens 1 at a time. They didn't fix it until Sword Shield, where you gain like 10 levels at once from a catch. It's just one go. You don't have to keep pressing buttons. But here it's literally you level up to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, etc. Which is actually it's obviously not great to be sitting there for a while sometimes, but it's also like good speedrun balance inadvertently because it makes a lot of decision making a lot more complicated as a result.
And you're never going to see Etchy wait around for the most part for Pokemon to spawn. He's just going to catch what he sees, and that's part of what makes this run so cool is, like you said earlier, every run is different. You're just kind of dealing with what the game gives you. So the combination of 50 Pokemon that you get before Koga's Gym is basically going to be different every time.
Yeah, sometimes you have like 27 Pokemon caught before entering Rock Tunnel, and sometimes you have 17. So hopefully nothing ridiculous like that happens in this run. I would like a normal speed run. at least normal-ish for GDQ, I guess.
You're doing a Pokemon speedrun at GDQ. How do you think this is going to be normal?
I have the normal type starter, if that's anything.
That's true.
I learning Headbutt here, which is the broken TM from Brock. Gym leaders give really good TMs. We'll see them later as well.
Speaking of Eevee's head, give Eevee one more pet.
I'll bundle it a bit when we get a couple more. So getting some headbutts here, and then, what were you say, Etiquette?
Oh, I was just going to say, Headbutt is going to be taught on both the Pika side and Eevee side. But Eevee's going to get way more use out of it because Eevee is a normal type, Headbutt is a normal type move, which means there's the same type attack bonus. It's a 50% boost, so instead of being a 70 base power move, it's effectively 105 base power, which this early in the game is pretty wild.
And again, yeah, boosted Eevee attack too. So this isn't your average Route 1 Pokemon you would have Headbutt on, like Rattata or something. This is a very beefy Eevee that we're going to be doing a lot of damage with.
So it's worth noting that your starter Pokemon in these games, you're not allowed to evolve it. So the boosted stats, I think, are a way to offset that.
Yeah, we didn't mention that at all. We're not going to be evolving the Eevee. Same with Pikachu, you can't evolve that. You're just stuck with the Pikachu. And that's also why we're not going to be using it in the entire run, but we will be using it for quite a while.
All right, so this room is kind of an interesting one. That is unfortunate. So you just saw Etchy pick up a Moonstone. The eagle-eyed among you may have noticed that at the very start of the run, we didn't start in the game. We started on the date time selection screen. That is because there are certain items in the game that respawn at midnight, or have a chance to respawn at midnight, I should say. And so what we've done is we've set it up so that we go into this room before the date has rolled over, and we are going to leave this room after the date has rolled over. That's really funny. We'll get to that in a second. And if we time everything right and get a little bit lucky, we actually have the option of getting 2 Moonstones out of this room. I have been timing. I did not start the timer exactly when we're supposed to, but as long as you're in this room for about another minute, the date should roll over.
She got 2 evolutions here, so
Yeah, that's just about a
do the
minute.
trick.
Yeah, that was inadvertently very lucky. We didn't talk about it earlier. It did already show up earlier in Forest, but sometimes Pokemon are glowing. They can be either, it's basically a denotion of size. So if it's blue, that means it's tiny. If it's red, that means it's huge. You don't really see the size difference in this game. It's not like later Pokemon games where you actually see like bigger or smaller Pokemon. And that just means they give more XP. And this was a special case. Who wants to explain that?
Yeah, I can take that. So there are small and large Pokemon, as Etchy mentioned, but like in the game, there's like a special number that determines just how small or just how large it is. And if it's like at the lowest point of that, or like the very highest point of that, it can be something called supersized. So instead of it giving 1.5 times experience, it will actually give 4 times experience, which is what just happened there.
Yes. Yeah, it's pretty rare. If a Pokemon's glowing, it's like about 13 or 14% to be supersized, so extremely rare. Right now, the any percent no mount skip records for Eevee and Pikachu both get supersized Chansey, which is incredibly rare and a huge EXP swing when that happens.
Yeah, I guess we also didn't talk about the other multipliers. So, there's a multiplier for if it's the first throw. So when Etchy had some lovely time looking at a Pikachu, or not Pikachu, it was a Pidgey. We didn't get that first throw bonus. You get a bonus if it's the first time you've caught a Pokemon, which is basically one of the main reasons why we only catch 1 of everything. There is a bonus for using 2 controllers. There's a hidden bonus that we're not going to see much because we are using 2 controllers. Just for using motion controls at all, it's possible to play this game handheld, but you actually gain less experience. What else is there?
I believe you covered everything that would be relevant for the
Yeah,
run.
the relevant ones.
Yeah.
You get 1 for shiny? I don't think so, right?
No, I don't think
No.
so. The circle size. Yeah, you get a 2 times bonus if you get an excellent throw, 1.5 if you get a great, 1.1 if you get a nice. And that nice, great, and excellent is also going to impact the catch rate of the Pokemon.
I was too fast on that one somehow.
Yeah, so the circle was a little bit too big there, so Etchy got a great instead of an excellent, so the multipliers are only going to be 1.5 for the size bonus instead of 2.
The Zubat EXP will definitely help carry here, so
Yeah.
my experience is totally fine. I want it to be higher. We still have Clefairy that we could catch here, and that gives a ton of experience, so hopefully we see one of those soon. We can see Chansey, we can see Clefable, we can see Onix. They're all pretty rare, though.
And it's really important, actually, for Etchy to be level 15 exiting Mount Moon, because Misty's gym requirement is to have a level 15 Pokemon, and it's a lot faster to go to Misty first instead of having to go to Nugget Bridge first and do all that.
And the Zubat that Etchy caught, we wouldn't normally want to catch a Zubat here, but just because it spawned underneath him, it's more worth it in a lot of cases to just catch what you're already encountering as opposed to wasting time backing out and having to catch one later.
Except for that Pidgey at the start. That was unfortunate. Don't do, okay. But yeah, Zubat you want to catch in Rock Tunnel because then it levels up 1 time and becomes Golbat. So 2 Pokemon for the price of 1, but this just means I basically am locked out of Golbat unless I decide to catch one in Rock Tunnel, which I really do not want to do because it is hard to catch.
Yeah, and sometimes you actually will want to do both of those catches. So like Geodude is a great example. Geodude is great experience here, and Graveler is even better experience in Rock Tunnel while still being a reasonable catch. So we're actually going to catch both of those. Depending on the situation, you might do that with like Rattata and Raticate. It really just ebbs and flows.
Every Pokemon has their own catch rates, and it also is going to depend on how much they move around and how easy it is to hit that excellent circle.
Yeah. A lot of that is runner preference too. Like, for example, I think most runners don't catch, like, I don't know, like Fearow or something, but there's like maybe 1 or 2 runners, even though it's a Pokemon that moves side to side and really hard to catch.
I can think of a couple runners.
Yeah.
I've done it a few times. It never works out. But.
No.
I'm just going to do a couple fights to progress through Mount Moon here. We can do a few donations, Chibi.
Absolutely. We got $252 from Spider C.
Oh.
They just say Ivysaur.
Ivysaur.
That's it. That's all they said. We've also, we're starting to get some guesses for our little game that we're doing. So we have $83 from Makuta. I know this is a pretty far-fetched guess, but here goes. Is that our Pokemon of the day?
It is not.
We also have $58 from Ajanti Peacock. Surely the secret Pokemon has to be the best boy, the little hot dog. It's got to be Growlithe, right?
It was almost Growlithe, but that was like, it's too predictable. I got to change it, so it's not Growlithe, unfortunately, but thank you, Peacock.
Keep guessing at it, chat. I know you can get it. We have $94 from Gengar Fan. Here's a Dex donation for my favorite purple chunky boy. Any other Gengar fans? Anyone in the audience? Yeah. We have $133 from Sai J. Wait, Etchy, this isn't TCG.
I know, sorry.
$133 for the best starter, Eevee. Getting to be here in person, watching the run that got me into speedrunning in this great community is an amazing experience. Good luck on the run. Hope Archer and Lance are kind to you.
Oh, I hope so too. Those are my biggest run. Oh, really, it's Lance is my biggest run killer and has killed so many of my world record runs, especially like 2 years ago. I was literally losing every single run to Lance, but it'll be pretty different today, so we'll see how it goes.
You're up to 2 pets.
2 pets, okay, that's chill. So yeah, this is Super Nerd. This is where Double Kick's still gonna be very relevant because there's a Magnemite, which is kind of one of the weird things about this game being a Gen 1 remake is that it's only Gen 1 Pokemon you have to deal with, but they do have their updated typing, so Magnemite being Steel can be an issue. That also means there's Dark-type moves in the game, but there are no Dark-type Pokemon.
Yeah.
All right, we still got it. Even at level 14, thanks to being plus attack. Usually want to be 15 by this Magnemite to make sure you can one-shot it. I would have liked to get it for the Coughing, so now I have to go for the Ekans Headbutt first. And then, yeah, this is where the Pokemon Yellow aspect really comes in here. In Pokemon Yellow as well, as you leave Mount Moon, you have to do a battle with Jesse and James. But because this is a modern game, it is now a double battle. But it's not like a normal double battle. It's kind of weird. Even if I'm not playing with 2 players, I am still forced to do it as a double battle. And we're going to be using just Bellsprout as our partner here.
Yeah. Etchy, you want to know something funny about the Eevee?
What?
In SGDQ 2019, my Eevee was a Brave Nature.
Really?
Yep. So we actually have the exact same Eevee. Well, all right, potentially not the exact same because there is a slight modification to the stats in this game. So something that is actually going to be relevant on the next level up here, so this is perfect timing, is instead of having EVs, which is the traditional way of Pokemon stats, you'll notice on this level up that we're going to see a +1 in yellow on one of the stats. Let's see which one it is.
Speed. Oh, that's
actually
actually huge.
that's super interesting. We'll get to that in a second. So yeah, that +1 there is quite literally a +1 to that stat. Every level up, you're going to get +1 AV, awakening value. It's also known as Go Power. There's a lot of different terminology here. But basically what that means is that stat will be +1 because of that level up. And those level ups are actually in a 10 level up cycle. So every time we hit a level that ends in a 5, we're going to gain that speed AV. Speed AV specifically is really interesting. And do you want to cover that, Amber?
Yeah, so basically the way AVs are determined in this game is that it's mostly random, but there's a couple things that can modify the randomness which stat it goes into. First of all, the Pokemon will have a characteristic, and based on its characteristic, there's a slight higher chance it can go into one of the stats. And normally, the minus stat of the nature you have, so for Brave, the minus stat is speed. Normally, you can never get a speed AV in the minus stat. However, if you have minus speed and a speed characteristic, then it actually can go into speed. And so right there, because we got a speed AV, we know that there's a speed characteristic on this EV.
Yeah, that basically kind of neutralizes the weakness of this Eevee being its speed, because I only need a couple speed points to outspeed the things that actually matter. So it might actually just be totally fine and not have to worry about it at all.
I think the only thing you're going to have to worry about is Rival 3, but
Yeah.
which you might have to worry about anyways.
Yeah. But yeah, we're getting to Cerulean. We're gonna teach some really broken moves to Eevee. If you thought Headbutt was good, boy, let me tell you. We're gonna be learning Bouncy Bubble, Sizzly Slide, and Buzzy Buzz. Those are all the real names of these moves.
And petting Eevee 3 times.
And petting, I can pet after this, yeah. But yeah, who wants to explain the moves?
I can take it. Yeah, so Bouncy Bubble here is the first one. This is a 90 base power special water move that is water absorbed. So half the damage that we deal is going to be given back to us in health, in healing. Buzzy Buzz is a 90 base power special electric move that has a 100% paralyze rate.
Pretty good.
And Sizzly Slide, the final one here, is going to be a 90 base power physical fire move that has a 100% chance to burn the opponent. All of those secondary effects will come into play, Buzzy Buzz actually, pretty soon.
One of the big version differences is in Pika version, we only teach one move here. It's called Zippy Zap, and it's a base 50 power electric move, which doesn't sound that special at first, but it always lands a critical hit, and it has +2 priority, which basically means it's always going to go first, even though Pikachu already has excellent speed. That move is probably better than all of the moves Eevee learns. It's the best one, but it's really the only one that Pikachu gets. So Eevee's a little more diverse. Pikachu just has the more straightforward power.
Yeah, the extra moves definitely help carry Eevee to be a very strong starter and cover a lot of the issues you might run into from like not having 120 base speed like Pikachu does.
Pikachu really struggles with grass and ground types, so it needs help from some partner Pokemon, whereas Eevee can kind of just handle everything by itself.
One thing you might notice about the typing of the moves that we got is that they're actually the typings of the Kanto Evolution starters. So we have Buzzy Buzz for Jolteon, we have Bouncy Bubble for Vaporeon, and we have Sizzly Slide for Flareon. And later on, we're actually going to get some other moves that will be typed based off of the later evolutions as well.
Let's see what my special defense is here, 39. I don't necessarily have to heal here, but I am going to deposit at the same
That's
time.
actually fair.
We didn't talk too much about party management ideas or tactics or whatever, but that is one of the biggest parts of this speedrun. I know Pokemon speedruns are like menu speedruns, sometimes people call them, and this is the menuiest speedrun. A big part of the speedrun and getting good at it and being like a really high-level speedrunner is knowing how to party manage effectively. Because as we mentioned earlier, every single level up loses you time if they're in your party. So you want to get them out of your party, and you can use the box whenever in this game. So the hard part is knowing when to spend time depositing versus when to keep things in your party for a couple extra catches, and then doing one bigger deposit later. And it's really not a solved thing, because a lot of the time you're just kind of guessing if things are going to work out or not. Like, oh, if this Pokemon spawns soon, then I can catch it, and then I can do a party deposit and it's really clean, but they could just not spawn too, so.
Yeah, and if you know all the Pokemon in your party like just leveled up and doing another catch isn't gonna get them to the next level, it might be better to wait until later or just overlap when you're removing Pokemon from your party with something else that you need to go into the menu for, like that heal.
Yeah, it is definitely very vibes-based. A good example is actually the menu Etchy just did is a pretty standard spot to menu because you do want to be close to full health here for Misty, which, yes, clap. And But you actually may want to delay that menu to after Misty sometimes because this move Scald here, you pretty much always get hit by Scald. There is a chance you don't. And Scald has a chance to burn you. So you need to heal the burn before the next fight. So if you could delay the menu, it would be beneficial to heal the burn. But then, now you have got your Pokemon in your party getting levels. Starmie gives a lot of experience. So.
I was just about to yell at you to go ahead.
I can only do it when Eddaket's explaining. So exactly, that's the best time. All right, there's 3 more.
Perfect.
Actually, go ahead and throw in one more real quick.
I just left it. We're going to get into Rival 2 now, which is much less scary than Rival 2 in older Pokemon Gen 1 games or Gen 1 remakes. We have the broken moves, so we're just going to hit super effective moves on everything here and then headbutt the Pikachu, no problem. But we can do a few donations while we do this.
Absolutely. We have $79 from the third stand. Here's my Pokedex donation guess, number 79, Slowpoke. If Growlithe was too obvious, then this must be Slowpoke for the misdirect. Who would pick a slow Pokemon for a fast event? Diabolical. Is it Slowpoke?
It is not Slowpoke.
not
That's a good
Slowpoke.
idea, though. Good guess.
Donating,
I was thinking about it.
donating towards the Tropical Freeze incentive, which thank you for letting us know about that. We've just opened that up for Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. We are going to beat Bobopolis. We need $25,000 to meet this, and if met, Spike will beat Bobopolis, the most difficult level in the game. Bobopolis?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So like I said, $25,000 to get that met. We are already at $1,800 out of that. Way to go, chat. I'm so proud of you. Let's keep that going.
But chat just lost the fight.
Oh, true.
Oh.
And also, chat got freaked out by Bill as a Nidorino, which we'll see in a bit.
I can imagine chat getting freaked out by that.
Yeah, that's fair. A standing Nidorino is always very cursed. So, but yeah, this is Nugget Bridge. We can do more donations.
Please.
We have $78 from Rapidash with no comment, which I suppose makes sense because it's kind of hard to type with hooves.
Yep.
We also have $100 from T-Pat. Poor, predictable Etchy. Always chooses Let's Go. Good old Let's Go, nothing beat that. Thanks for being an awesome friend and having the best community ever. Good luck, and let's keep petting that Eevee.
Let's go pet that Eevee. Thank you, T-Pat.
Got time for another?
This is the best time to crank out all of them.
Absolutely. You're getting so much love here. We have $10 from our very own Greta Ice Vixen, who you saw some of those prizes made earlier. Hi, friends, :3. I'm so happy to see you on the big stage again, Etchy. You'll absolutely kill it today. I'm so happy to finally meet you. And again, thank you so much for inadvertently being the reason I'm here on the back couch today. I love all 4 of you, and I love PSR. Less than 3.
That's a 3.
We have $25 from the Crank Machine. Let's go Pikachu's to donate. The generosity is making me misty-eyed. I'm sobbling. Time to blow away every donation, Golbat.
Ooh.
I'll be back with better puns. These were unacceptable.
That
Very
Sobble
nice.
one was wild.
That was a stretch a little bit, but I liked it. I like Sawball a lot, so.
We also have $52 from Lady Marta. Donation is in honor of Rachel Lillis, the original English voice actor of Misty, Jigglypuff, and Jessie in the anime. She was diagnosed with breast cancer and passed away last year. So instead of a Dex donation, I'm donating $52 for one of my favorite Misty episodes, Princess versus Princess. Thank you, Rachel, for being such a memorable part of so many people's childhood. We also have $100 from something_smart. OMG, he is back at GDQ. Good luck, Etchy.
Thank you.
$25 from Paging Sai. Etchy, I'm so glad you get to be back. Your first run brought me to the community and helped me become the wonderful trans woman I am today. You know we are going to get a frick and become a new marathon record.
Sorry about the frick. We didn't get it.
Thanks for everything you and the community have done to bring this game to new heights.
Much love, much love.
Keep going.
Do one more, yeah.
All right, $126 from Sam Pants. Well, hey there, Etchy. Did you remember your Lugia V-Star? Wait, wrong game. Best of luck with your Let's Go run. May your mount skip swiftly and your shoulder pal behave cooperatively.
My shoulder pads are falling off.
I made sure to donate an extra 26 for the best Pokemon ever Raichu, even if partner Pikachu doesn't agree.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
Wait, have you been petting the shoulder Eevee too?
No, oh my gosh. Very important, thank you
Come
for
on.
reminding me. I'm sorry, amateur hour over here. We're going to be doing some funny movement past some trainers. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, yeah. I'm gonna knock it off by mistake and then we're done for. But yeah, we're gonna do some funny movement through some trainers here. And this is a good time to talk about how trainer vision works because it's gonna be very relevant in just a little bit. So who wants to talk about it?
I can talk about that. So I guess like if you played a Pokemon game, you know that usually like in like 2D ones, trainer vision, the way it works is like the kind of tiles in front of the trainer are where the trainer can see. And you would kind of assume that trainer vision is like the width of the trainer. But for some reason, instead, trainer vision is basically just like a little tiny, like 25 pixel wide, like laser going out of every trainer's forehead. So yeah, actually just kind of like dodged like 4 trainers that you would think he would be seen by. But because trainer vision is so like thin, you can just like walk right between them.
Yeah, there's actually a bunch of trainers that we kind of just squeak past their vision and it makes us dodge some very annoying fights later in the run. So, and yeah, I guess as I free Bill here, I should probably explain something that maybe should have mentioned at the very beginning, but this is a good time to do it too, is that while this is an any percent speed run, the category says any percent, it is not the same category that Eddaket ran 5.5 years ago. It is an entirely new category we had to create because we kind of ruined it. So there's 2 categories now. They're called any percent and any percent no mount skips for the single player normal beat the game categories. What a mount skip is hard to explain and we'll talk about it more later, but basically what you need to know is I'm going to do a really cool glitch or developer oversight, whatever you want to call it, at the very end of the run that really takes advantage of how trainer vision works in this game. But that is to say, this is a new category, even though it is the same name, we just kind of split it off. And as a result, we're going to save a couple minutes at the end for it.
Standing Nito.
Is chat
There it
terrified?
is.
I'm terrified.
I'm terrified. The audience is telling us to ditch Bill because resident community member Joker Sleeps accidentally left the building after Bill went into this machine, which does not trigger the cutscene once you get out of here, and is very bad, and you have to run backwards, and it spawned a whole meme category that everyone loves running, so thank you for that, Joker.
Yeah, in order to leave Cerulean City here, we need to both beat Misty to get the second gym badge, as well as save Bill to get the SS ticket. This is pretty much the only, other than like Pewter City earlier, it's the only part of the game that really like gates you based on gym badges. You have to beat Misty. Officer Jenny will not be outside of the house with the Squirtle that we're about to see in like 10 seconds. Unless you have beaten Misty and saved Bill. And because of that, we beat Misty around like maybe like the 36-minute mark of the run. We're gonna do our next gym in like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Hour 20 from now, so.
Yeah, very non-traditional Pokemon speedrun, obviously, if you didn't catch on to that. Yeah, we're gonna, basically the way the rest of this one's gonna work is we're just gonna do everything we can to unlock as much of Kanto as possible, and then we'll go get all the badges after that. So we kind of just rush through the story, I guess, through the region, just to unlock everything, get us access to some higher level Pokemon, finish up our catches, and then we start going through the gyms.
Yeah, really poor urban planning in Cerulean City. You got to go through someone's house to get out.
I know. I mean, do you think everyone just has like a way to cut the bush at the south end of
They
town?
must.
You sure
Just
don't.
carry hedge clippers at all times.
Especially, this isn't even supposed to be a door.
It
Right,
might
someone
have
had
been a
to bust
regular
out.
door. I don't know. No, that's just a hole, yeah. But yeah, we're going to do a bunch of movement here. We can do a couple more donations.
Absolutely. We just got $1,000 from Cian04, donating for my favorite video game series and the game series that introduced me to the amazing cause that is GDQ. Etchy and Eddaket have done some of my favorite GDQ runs of all time, so having both on commentary means I'm sure this run will be just as great. Thank you all for the incredible work you do. And thank you so much for that very generous donation. We also have $10 from Slowpoke. Wow, guys, this Astrobot speedrun is amazing so far. Shoutouts to Canada.
Let's go, Canada.
Oh, we do have a Canadian on the couch, so.
We have $50 from Pulse Effects. Hi, Etchy and friends. Not to backseat speedrun you or anything, but have you considered using a Pokeball Plus controller?
Ooh.
I'm
You were
sh-
actually just, sorry, go ahead.
I'm sure Etiquette can attest to this, but I hear it's not only easier to pet that Eevee with this magical device, but it might help out your speedrun even more. All seriousness, best of luck to you, my friend. So happy to see you showing off one of the best speedruns ever created.
So
I'm incredibly proud of how far you've come with everything you do. Seriously, can't wait to see you again at another event.
Thank you, Pulse. It is actually Pulse's fault I started running this game inadvertently because he ran Pokemon White 2 Challenge Mode at GDQX at TwitchCon 2019. And I was like looking for a new speedrun to learn, and I just was in the audience for that. And as a result, I was like, oh, I could maybe do a Pokemon run because I like Pokemon. I like RPGs. And this is the only Pokemon game I had that I could like capture. So I just ran this, and then I played it for 5-6 years. So I played a lot of other Pokemon runs too, but this one I can always come back to. So this is Route 6. What are we gonna do here, team?
Yeah, so we are looking for a Vulpix. We are looking for a Jigglypuff. Both of them could spawn later. Nice bonus here is Abra. I hope we see one because Abra has a really cool overworld mechanic. But it looks like we're not seeing anything. There's an Abra. All right, so you can't see it, but Etchy approached the Abra from behind because if you approach it from the front, it will teleport away.
I was gonna say, really cool mechanic is generous there.
Listen, it's like the only overworld mechanic for Pokemon. And we also get to see some of the different motion control motion.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, Abra
Yeah.
moves from side to side, so Etchy kind of had to like throw. Etchy actually puts both the Joy-Cons in like the Joy-Con like dog grip, so that when he does side throw, he can just kind of move it to one side or the other to do those side throws. And as well on this route, it's actually like a pretty big difference between Eevee and Pikachu. For Pikachu version, instead of Vulpix, Growlithe spawns on this route, which is very, very important for Pikachu. For some reason, Growlithe has Flamethrower at level 17, which is very powerful for the upcoming route.
Yeah, so we're gonna grab this Jigglypuff. Jigglypuff is one of those Pokemon. If you're learning this game, you absolutely want to practice because it has this really long animation where it floats in the air and goes to the side and then attacks at the end. So you really want to throw immediately.
Yeah, by the way, the Abra was supersized, so.
I was gonna comment on your experience. Normally you're happy if you're like high level 18 here and we're level 20.
Yeah, 20 is great. This is exactly where I want to be experience-wise. Happy to get the Abra because my catch situation wasn't like super great. I missed out on Clefairy and Mount Moon and some other stuff too. So happy with that. I can get Vulpix later, and even then I don't necessarily need Vulpix, and I'm going to thread the needle there and be totally fine with that.
Nice. Etchy made that look really easy. It is actually pretty difficult to do that. Like, even if you've been running this game for like 5-6 years, it's still easy to mess that up occasionally.
Yeah, I'm probably still like 5 to 10% to mess it up in a run, even on a good run.
Yeah,
just happens.
Joy-Con joysticks are not the greatest in the world, and it's surprisingly difficult just to run in a straight direction.
Yeah. Also, chat's gonna be real upset you just sold the Helix fossil.
I know, I'm so sorry.
Hey, after your little shopping spree here, do you have some time for pets?
Of course I do. What
All
do we
right,
got?
we got 3 pets.
3 pets, easy peasy. We can do a couple donations while I go through this.
Sure, I have $10 from Kahuna Pat. Quote, you can catch Rapidash instead of Ponyta. It doesn't help any, but it actually helps a lot though. Unquote, Etchy, April 26, 2021.
Receipt.
Oh, that's fantastic.
We have $35. I'm sorry, that was so funny. We have $35 from Princess Neko Cakes. In honor of Pokedex number 35, Clefairy, here's a haiku. Round in pink it twirls. Clefairy's song fills the night underneath the moon. I'll donate another $35 if this donation gets read.
There you go. All right, let me go pet the Eevee. You said 3, right?
That is correct.
You got it. All right, everyone be as happy as Eevee in the crowd, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, let's go.
Hooray!
Don't forget the shoulder.
I'm just like smacking it. I can't get a good pet on it. There we go. I'm like massaging it. But yeah, this is SSN. Like, I think it's the same in Gen 1/3. You don't have to do any of the fights here. You just go straight to the rival and then you're done. So we're just gonna go ahead and do that. Even though he's gonna be here, we're gonna meet him upstairs. He'll already have beaten us somehow, even though we're rushing straight there. And this fight's one of the more interesting ones. I think me being minus speed here might actually matter, but I did get a lot of levels, so I might maybe outspeed.
I think you should be fine on speed, but this is also going to be the first instance of a 2-controller fight, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Voluntary 2-controller fight.
Yes.
Unlike Jesse and James, yeah.
Yeah, so it's just as broken as it sounds. We're going to have 2 Pokemon. They're going to have 1. The reason we don't do this for more fights is because it is actually quite slow. Pretty much every turn takes twice as long because you have to pick 2 moves, there are 2 animations, all that kind of stuff. But the main power of these 2-controller battles is the fact that you can do things like use an item from one Pokemon on the other Pokemon. So Eevee here isn't going to be able to one-shot this Pidgeotto without a little bit of help. But if we use an X special attack, double our special attack, now the Pidgeotto goes down in 1 hit. And that's going to be a common theme of these 2-controller battles. Very rarely are we using these 2-controller battles for safety reasons. There's like 1 or 2 where that's the case, but even then it's just straight up faster to do it anyways.
Yeah, the old strat for this fight was actually just using a guard spec, using X attacks or whatever you needed to use, and then sweeping from there. But that's slow when you have to, and it also requires buying an extra thing, right? So an extra guard spec. So we routed that out like a couple years ago, so we don't have to worry about it. Because yeah, the reason you need the guard spec too, and why it's really good on this fight to do the 2-controller, is because Pidgeotto has what's it called? Stand attack. I almost said guard spec. I don't think it has that, but
Just throws it.
Yeah.
that's actually like one of the if any lead of a Pokemon battle has any move that lowers your accuracy, that means the odds of us 2-controlling that fight are extremely high. So.
Yeah, one thing that Etchy did as well is actually he bought a very specific, he bought and picked up a very specific number of items. And the reason for that is to set up the X items so that he can get to them in 1 input in the bag right away. So basically he kind of has the X specials and the X attack kind of in its own row at the bottom. And that'll make it way faster to use those X items instead of him having to like kind of scroll through a few items to get there each and every time. And because they're so powerful, we're going to be using them very often.
Yep.
Yeah, we call it God Menu. There's like an Ether on the previous route that you pick up in Pikachu, but you don't pick up in Eevee because Eevee has paralyzed heals, and like there's a lot of that kind of going on. But what's really funny is on Pika version, the X items are actually swapped. So in Eevee, if you press up, it is X specials, and if you press left, it will be X attacks. And that is reversed in Pika. So if you are switching back and forth between the games, it is not fun.
Imagine doing that for weeks of practice for this event. Not me, no. Yeah, I was most recently practicing Pikachu, so I'm really glad Eevee got it. But it's not too bad. It's really just like the first couple of menus, and then you snap into it and you figure it out. But that's the SSN. That's basically it. Fun fact: there's a cool little music glitch here, which I'll point out for production reasons as well. Is like 90% of the time, what happens when you leave SSN, the background music is just louder for like 10 minutes, but not a lot louder. But it's noticeably louder if you've played the game a lot. So. Yeah, sorry. But yeah, what was I gonna say with Route? Oh yeah, so Route 9's coming up. We're gonna be heading into Rock Tunnel after that, and that's really one of the big catch and terrifying catch sections of the run. That's really where most runs die, because if you get out of Mount Moon, the odds of you getting to this point are pretty high. There's very little things that can go bad outside of like Misty, maybe. Nugget Bridge is just completely normal. Route 6 is usually not an issue. But Route 10/Rock Tunnel, we're going to catch a lot of Pokemon, and there's some really bad things that can happen when we try to go for this catch. So I'm going to thread this needle again. I line myself up with the tiles. That looks fine. I kind of shifted there, but you kind of have to, you just do it a lot. You know like what looks good and what doesn't, and you just adjust, and it's fine. But we can do a few more donations while we walk through this really long tunnel.
Yes, I have $150 from Callie. It's fun to see Etchy playing Let's Go again. Please, 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 please pet the Eevee again. Greatly appreciate everything the GDQ community does together with the Prevent Cancer Foundation, and massive thank you to staff and volunteers who make the event possible. Donating on behalf of my friends at Spectre Status Gaming, Shep, Steph, Blue, Dread, Sushi, Fem, and Terry.
I don't need another Abra. We're fine. We can do another donation.
Yeah, y'all also remember, if you want us to pet that Eevee, you need to make sure that you're picking the Pet the Eevee incentive
true.
when you put in your donation, and that will help go towards that. But also, every donation that we are receiving right now is going towards unlocking our bonus game, Fallout New Vegas, because that is a milestone. So go ahead and get the best bang for your buck, choose the Pet the Eevee incentive, and also help us unlock that milestone at the same time.
FNV, greatest game of all time. Please do so. So here's one of those fights where you either have the 2-controller it or guard spec it. Pika version actually does the 2-controller, but I'm just gonna use a guard spec. Now, I have not been using guard spec in my last like 2 weeks of runs and just YOLOing this fight, and it usually works out fine, but I'm a little scared to do that after triple Pidgey breakout time loss at the start of this run. So we're just gonna play it safe, get the one shot because we are a bulky Eevee, and then we do get the advantage of Sizzly Slide here. Curbs, do you want to explain what Pika version does on this route?
Yeah, so that Growlithe we were mentioning earlier that's so important is critical for these 2 fights on this route. For one, this Gloom, like I said earlier, Pikachu really struggles with grass types, so you just bring in that Growlithe with Flamethrower and you can usually kill this in one shot. And then the next fight, there's a Sandshrew that Pikachu can't really handle too well, so Flamethrower is good for that as well.
Yeah, you wouldn't think that a Growlithe would be good against a Sandshrew, but Sandshrew has like negative special defense, so you basically just obliterate it with Flamethrower.
And you also always outspeed it.
Yep.
And yet somehow on Eevee version, you don't always one-shot the Sandshrew with Bouncy Bubble, and it's very sad when that happens. But I am level 20, so it'll be totally fine.
Yeah, the I guess downside of the moves Eevee learns is none of them have that same type attack bonus, so it's just what you see is what you get.
Gonna go for the Bouncy Bubble here again, getting some free heal action. And we're gonna be seeing Buzzy Buzz utilized in a couple spots just to give us the paralysis, which lowers their speed and lets us outspeed them. But I'm actually not gonna do that here because I have a very high attack Eevee. I'm just gonna go for the Headbutt 2-shot, see if that works out. Oh yeah.
Perfect.
I'm gonna low roll now because I said that. We'll see, we'll see. All right, and now it is time for Route 10 Roulette. There's like 5 different Pokemon I could get here. They're all really good to get. You can even get Chansey if you really want. I did not menu yet, so we can do that now. I'm gonna Moonstone into Wigglytuff here. This is another difference between Pika and Eevee version. You have to use your Moonstone on Nidorino or Nidorina on Pika version because you need the help from them for like getting through the mid-game section. Whereas here, Eevee is gonna just destroy everything, so we don't really need that much help. We're gonna use like a Rhyhorn, maybe, if I get one. And then that's pretty much it. So we can use the Moonstone on Wigglytuff because out of all the Pokemon that you can Moonstone evolve in the run, it's the only one that doesn't try to learn a move on evolution, so it is optimal to use the Moonstone on that.
Also, up to this point, Etchy has been using 1 Great Ball and 1 Pokeball to catch everything. You might have seen him sell all of his Pokeballs at the last shop and just stock up on Great Balls instead, because you do have a higher chance of catching things if you're using double Great Balls.
All right, so on this route, we are looking for Nidoran male, Nidoran female, Spearow, Krabby, and Rattata. Rattata can be caught pretty much whenever, but the other 4 of them are pretty much only on this route.
Ideally, you want to walk away with 4 out of the 5. You can get away with 3 usually, but 4 would be ideal.
Yeah, we were saying I would use double Great Balls for everything, but we saw a Premier Ball there. That's a shopping optimization. By selling all your Pokeballs, you automatically get the Premier Ball in the second slot. And then once I use the Premier Ball, it automatically switches to Great Balls because I have no Pokeballs. It always goes to the lowest ball available, basically. And because there is no more lower ball, it'll automatically do that and saves me some menu inputs.
Yeah.
That's actually something that was not something we knew about back during Eddake's run.
Yeah.
All those years ago. In fact, probably half of the things we've explained we just did not know about back
Oh, yeah.
then.
Yeah, big shout out to Anubis, who has done so much research into like basically all of the inner mechanics of the game, like how spawns work, how catching works. Speaking of like how spawns work and like the percentage of Pokemon, you might have actually noticed that Etchy waited a little bit. Instead of like going for a Pokemon right away, he actually waited for 4 things to spawn before catching a Pokemon. Eddaket, do you want to explain that?
Yeah, so pretty much every time you catch a Pokemon, you're starting a catch chain. So right now we are on a catch chain of Rattata. It is only one, but we do have a chain active. And this does a lot of things. You'll get extra experience if you're on a chain.
Sure.
Good luck.
You're out. You're out.
Actually, all right, I want to see how this goes, and then
Yeah.
I will finish explaining.
You can see how much movement is going on here. This is really bad. I'm going to wait it out, try to get at least a grade.
And the berry Etchy just used is to make the Fearow move around less.
Yeah. All right, so this is probably like 60% if I had to guess. Easy peasy.
Perfect.
All right.
All right.
Just get lucky.
So yeah, to
Simply get lucky.
continue the catch chain thing, there are a number of things that can happen. You'll get more experience, but one of the main things is that Pokemon will be more likely to spawn. I forget the exact odds, but it basically replaces like 10% of the encounters with that Pokemon.
Yeah.
So by going onto the route with a catch chain active of a Pokemon that's not on that route, you basically optimize all of the Pokemon, their spawn rates. And so you wait until everything has spawned, and once everything has spawned, you basically can't get anything else, so you break your catch chain and start it with something new, and now you make every spawn worse, like the fact that now we're going to see 10% more Fearows. But it's just a slight optimization. It's really only applicable here in any percent. In all obtainable Pokemon, which is the sort of catch-em-all category, single player, as well as Diploma, which is a two-player category, great categories. It's seen a lot more.
Yeah, here's a kind of a weird situation where I really would like one of Nidoran male or Krabby, because otherwise my catch situation's not great, and I'd have to make it up with catching some cringe stuff later, but I also don't really want to wait around too long. I might just repel for it just to make sure I'm safe. You wouldn't normally do that in like a world record attempt. One of the things that you can do to refresh encounters is to use a repel and then immediately lure again. That cancels out your previous lure, but it also resets all the encounters. So all the Raticate in front of me and all the other Pokemon just disappear, frees up the spawn slots because only 4 things can spawn here at once. So I'll give it one more spawn. I should get one more thing here, and I'm gonna repel.
What's your current count?
I am at 24 Pokemon, which is a lot of Pokemon, but I don't have like a lot of options later.
Yeah, when you're going through a run, we kind of have 2 numbers in our head. Your current Pokemon count and your current planned Pokemon count. So including everything that you have that hasn't evolved yet that you plan to evolve, and just things that you know are guaranteed, things to get later. I think a lot of us operate more on that planned count than the actual current count. So we're always kind of looking ahead, thinking where we're gonna be, half hour from now.
Yeah, and it's so easy to be like, okay, well, I can catch this and this if bad things happen or if this doesn't show up. But then sometimes you go through Rock Tunnel and you just lose out on 4 Pokemon. And then at that point, you panic and the run's probably dead. So situations like that, especially in a marathon run, I'm just going to take the time to get 1 extra Pokemon before leaving, especially something as good as Nidoran Male, where it will evolve in 1 level and cover 2 Pokemon for the price of 1.
And normally we're only going to evolve things that take only a small handful of levels to evolve. The exception being that Bellsprout that Etchy's kept this whole time. It's just nice to, even though it needed 13, 14 levels to evolve, and every level up is like another couple seconds. So ideally it's faster to not do that, but I think pretty much everyone who plays this game has come around to just taking that evolution just as a way of making the catch route a little more consistent in the early game.
It's something I started forcing everybody to do like 3 years ago, because or maybe 2 years. No, like it's 2025. Oh my gosh, yeah, like 3 years ago, because obviously all those level ups are slow, but there's 2 points in the run where before it would evolve, where you'd be forced to 1 controller catch something. And by just keeping that Pokemon in your party the entire time, you're able to 2 controller catch literally everything up until it evolves, which is massive for both experience and also speed. You can just throw a lot faster if you're guaranteed to almost certainly get it in with the 2 controller catch. Whereas 1 controller, you might be pressured to use a Raspberry to increase catch chance, which is slower. It just speeds things up, lets you go for things like a Great instead of an Excellent, which is another way to shave time and improve at the high end level.
And it's something that started on Pikachu version because you use Oddish for some fights early in the game. So by the time you would deposit Oddish, it would normally be like level 14, 15. So at that point, you only need a few more levels. So we just kind of said, okay, we'll just keep it until it evolves at that point. And then we just realized it just made the early game so much more consistent. So it got adopted on Eevee version as well, even though you don't really have a functional battle use for the Bellsprout.
Yeah, and before I start yapping about Rock Tunnel, because there's a lot to talk about here, we can do a few donations.
Yes, we have $8.70 from Sagittarius Studios. Longtime watcher, first time in person, donating for the best bug boy, Snam. A haiku. Soft snowflakes drifts down. Tiny crawler, slow and still. Cold world in your gaze. We also have $50 from Chris C. Had to drop in during a Pokemon game. Always love watching these streams. More Eevee pets are always welcome too. Which, speaking of,
Yeah, what are we at?
we're getting pretty close to a third pet, but right now you are at 2.
Okay.
We owe 2.
I can do that right now.
Cool. We have $250 from Anonymous.
What is the background? Oh my gosh. Oh.
Oh, they say, I just think Magikarp is really neat.
Cool. Magikarp is neat. I also think getting Pokemon to catch are neat. Thank you for spawning. Yeah, the rock tunnel is really scary. Who wants to talk about it?
Yeah, I can talk about Rock Tunnel. So there are generally 5 things you want to catch in Rock Tunnel. There's Machop, there's Cubone, there's Grappler. Normally there would be Zubat if you didn't already have one. And the most important one, Rhyhorn. So in this game doesn't have a bike. Instead, what you can do is that there are certain Pokemon that you can ride, and those Pokemon have like different ride speeds. Like for example, if you try to ride an Onix, it's like basically the same as walking. And if you try to ride something like a Rapidash or an Aerodactyl, it goes very, very fast. Unfortunately, those are not available to us right now. So the fastest thing that's available to us right now is Rhyhorn. And as well, we want to be actually using Rhyhorn for some fights in Rocket Hideout, which is coming up right after Rock Tunnel. So it is very, very important to get Rhyhorn now. You can go without it, but it feels bad.
It does.
Yeah, it loses a good chunk of time. Never want to see that. Yeah, cool.
That was a nice throw.
Was not sure if I'd make that. My last few times trying to get Graveler with that cycle have not been good, so I'm glad I
Yeah,
got that there.
That's something that really comes with practice, just like knowing, like, oh, after the Graveler does that attack, the Circle is going to be in the position to get an excellent.
Yeah, every Pokemon attacks when they do stuff like that where the circle disappears. They all take different amounts of time. Their circles move kind of differently as well, so it's all just memorization, just knowing exactly, okay, if a circle starts here and they attack, it'll probably be like here after the attack, and just memorizing all that. It takes a lot of time, or you can, I guess you can write it all down, but I don't do that. So. Yeah, I got the Graveler here. I didn't really want to get the Graveler now, but it showed up, so I went for it. Graveler's, again, your biggest EXP catch in Rock Tunnel. You really want to wait as long as possible to get experience for all your other things, but timing didn't work out. Went in and got it, and hopefully we can still get some good experience, especially for Rhyhorn later.
Yeah, so something that's also kind of interesting about Rock Tunnel is this is sort of the first area of the game where you're going to see from run to run a lot of different strategies. It's really going to depend on what is your current HP, what are your stats, all that kind of stuff. There's kind of like 3 or 4 different ways to get through like some of these fights. It really just depends on the situation. So it's a really cool thing to look out for. And again, if you watch this run and then you go and watch the record, you'll probably see completely different strategies for a lot of fights.
Wow.
Eevee Volley?
All the pets.
Oh, come on! Okay, so you never get to do that during the speed run. There's a special attack you can use if you pet your Eevee or feed it enough. It's really powerful, but you can only use it once in a while, and I just tried it there just for you, chat. It actually would have been optimal if it got the KO. It was so close.
Yeah, one of the big things for Eevee that makes a difference in for what fight strategy you do is that at level 28, Eevee gets the move Double Edge, which is an 120 base power normal move, which is so effectively 180 power, and it basically just destroys everything. There we go. There's the Rhyhorn.
Finally. We will be blessed for this run now.
Yeah, we talked a little bit earlier about trying to like optimize party management, only open your menu when you're trying to combine it with other things. No, you get Rhyhorn, you instantly open your menu, you start riding that thing.
Yeah. Very good to just give us some extra movement speed here, and we are going to use it in battle later, so.
Yeah. Honestly, that's worth a clap.
Any run where you see it, you just breathe a huge sigh of relief. It's awesome. And then, yeah, this next fight, we can do a couple different strats for the Machop we're going to see. The normal old strat was to always Sizzly Slide it because it burns it, which reduces the physical damage it can do. Actually, I should have waited because now I'm going to hit this other Rhyhorn. Yep. but I'm gonna probably opt to Bouncy Bubble instead.
Hold on,
which-
did that say that was a shiny?
I didn't look at it. I don't think so. I don't think it
I
was.
No, okay, I could have sworn I saw it.
I think I would have seen the sparkles. I think we're fine. I think we're fine. Oh, I didn't want a 2-controller, but it works out as well. But yeah, do you want to do some donations then?
Yeah, we have $100 from Penguin with a Gun, donating 95.9 on behalf of my favorite virtual gremlin, Tinkaton, with 4.1 Bulbasaurs thrown in as moral support. Please don't ask about the remaining 0.9 my lawyers advised me not to say. We have $45 from Camper Jin. My Dex donation and Dex guess is my favorite Pokemon, number 45, Vileplume. I love you, stinky baby. Was that our Pokemon of the day?
It was not, unfortunately. Keep guessing again, 5 through 101.
We have $65 from, literally, it's the spoon emoji.
Nice.
Like it's not the words a spoon emoji, it is emoji of the spoon. Number 65, Alakazam knows exactly what Pokemon you picked. Unfortunately, it won't tell me though. $52 from Mr. Bradford, 52 coins for the best Scratch Cat Pokemon. That's right.
Here's probably the worst fight in the run.
Yep.
Until later, at least. This is probably the worst fight in the Eevee section. Not only are you outsped by the Vulpix and the... you outspeed Vulpix normally, but Kadabra outspeeds you. This thing can burn you. If it burns you, you're going to be in a world of hurt. And then outside of that, the Kadabra will outspeed you, and it will also potentially confuse you because it'll use Psybeam on you. So hopefully, this is normal. Okay, good, but not out of the woods yet. We're going to headbutt this. Pika version can actually 2-control this fight, and it's always safe, but you can't afford to do that because if you try to do that, the Kadabra will outspeed Eevee and destroy your partner, probably.
Yeah,
Be
Pika,
nice.
Pika would use Zippy Zap, which is a priority move, so it wouldn't have to worry about Kadabra just like destroying your partner.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you have really good speed, the Eevee can outspeed the Kadabra. But if you have really bad speed, like minus speed without the AVs, you can actually get outsped by the Vulpix depending on your experience. So it's a pretty wide range of what can happen there.
Yeah, the only thing I'm missing so far is the Cubone that I would really like to get in Rock Tunnel, but there is a chance I could get it in the Lavender Tower later. It is very rare, but it does happen every once in a while, and it's actually better to catch it there because you catch it at a higher level, and then it just needs 1 level up to actually evolve into Marowak. But if I don't get it here, it's not the end of the world.
It's not actually super rare in that area, but Lavender Tower has a weird problem where any place that has narrow pathways, for whatever reason, the game doesn't want to spawn as many Pokemon as quickly. So combination of a semi-low spawn rate and just the fact that nothing ever wants to show up in Lavender Tower means it basically never happens.
Tough, yeah. And then after this, we're getting into Rival 4, which is actually the fight where we're going to use the Rhyhorn, which I still need to switch to slot 2. I was hoping to have like more stuff to deposit, but I think it's just going to be the Nidorino and the Graveler anyway, which I might even deposit if... there's no point in depositing if I don't get the Cubone. This is the type of stuff I have to think about constantly during the run. It's just party management stuff. So right now, like, if I caught the Cubone, I would put it in the party and deposit the Nidorino and the Graveler, because there's no point in them being there. They're not going to gain any evolutions for leveling up. But now it's like, well, why would I deposit them if there's no point in doing so and they only gain like 2 levels, you know? The time it takes to deposit them is longer than it takes for them to gain those level ups. So you just kind of have to do a lot of math quickly in your head, do some quick risk analysis sometimes, and go from there. So I'm actually just going to swap the Rhyhorn once I get into the tower.
Yeah, and this is a slight difference from Generation 1. You actually do have to go into the tower to fight your rival before going to Celadon. You're allowed to walk over to Celadon, but you can't actually get into the Rocket Hideout. So we have to go up here, fight our rival, and then go over and take a second trip here later on.
This is another strat that also used to be a 1-controller guard spec, set up like 4 X items, heal, and then sweep the team. I came up with this like also a couple years ago. But basically, we're just going to use the Rhyhorn and its strength with its Drill Run. It actually comes with a Drill Run, a 95 power ground type move. Or is it 95? It's 95 accuracy. I don't remember if it's 95 power.
90 power?
It's really strong.
80, yeah.
Ground type, so it gets the same type attack bonus, hits really hard, and our rival has a lightning type Pokemon. The interesting thing with having 2 Pokemon out, though, is that the move, or the Pokemon that your rival sends out is going to be basically random, sort of. Who wants to explain that?
Yeah, I can go ahead and take that. So basically, like during a normal one-on-one fight, basically the way that the AI determines what it's gonna send out next, it's gonna look at the moves of all the Pokemon that it still hasn't sent out yet, and it's going to basically like do a calculation based on its base power and its type effectiveness against you. But if you're doing a 2v1 battle, it's basically going to randomly pick either your player 1 Pokemon or your player 2 Pokemon, and then send out a Pokemon based off of that. And so because Raichu would be better against Eevee, but Gloom would be better against Rhyhorn, it's going to randomly pick between one of those two in this fight.
Yeah, also Etchy, we were playing the video game. It is electric Pokemon, not lightning.
I play a lot of TCG. That's if you didn't pick up from the donations. But that's Rival. I hit the drill run. Hopefully we hit our other drill runs later. There's not that many we want to hit. And sometimes if you miss it, it's not the end of the world anyway. But that's done. We can now head over to Celadon, and we're going to go ahead and hit probably the worst mid-game section, or probably the worst fight section in the run, I would say, outside of like Victory Road, which we're going to skip through entirely. But I guess while we get into that section, do this cutscene, we can do a few donations.
Absolutely. We have $25 from Jordan97. That's a strange looking Pikachu. It's been great to see you dedicate so much time into the speedrun over the years and see you break so many barriers in the game. Good luck with the run, Etchy. Also, hi, Eddaket.
Hi, Jordan.
Hi, Jordan. Thank you.
We have $16 from Jen Hopping Crow, donating $7.04 and $8.72 with a little extra for the most precious Pokemon, Goomy and Snom. Goomy is love, Goomy is life, Snom is nom.
Snom is nom.
And I have $10 from Princess Pink. Questions for the runner and couch. How difficult is it to learn/run the Let's Go games? And overall, which games in the Pokemon series are the easiest/hardest to learn and run?
I think it's probably the easiest one to run, honestly, or
Yeah.
learn.
Yeah. It's up there.
I think it's
I agree.
just straight
Yeah.
up one of the best. Again, this is the one I learned. This is my first Pokemon speedrun all those years ago, back in late 2019 is when I learned it. It was very beginner friendly for me even back then, and things have just improved greatly in terms of beginner resources since then. We have really good beginner notes. We have a lot of pictures in the notes that we didn't used to have. We have lots of write-ups on like how to approach the catch stuff, the catch routing. It's in a really good place. I strongly recommend anyone who's interested in Pokemon speedrunning to give this one a shot. Also, I think it's the best one, so.
Yeah.
I was gonna say the only knock I would give Let's Go is if you want to get really good at the game, you're gonna spend a lot of time focusing on things that don't translate to other Pokemon games.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the catching, a lot of that kind of stuff doesn't really transfer. Obviously, the motion controls definitely don't transfer.
Yeah.
But the thinking on the fly, the trying to figure out those scenarios, those are skills that would absolutely help you in the other games.
And this game, I think it was mentioned before, has like very easy to learn. I think the main thing that makes it easy to learn than other Pokemon games is that like in other Pokemon games, there's usually like a couple fights where basically like if you get crit, you just die and you have to like go back to Pokemon and get a reload to save. This game like pretty much doesn't have that. Like 99% of the time, you can get through like every fight without wiping. But the skill ceiling is so high, like learning all the like different intricacies of the like party management, learning all the catch cycles. So I feel like, you know, even though we've all been playing this game for 5+ years, we're all constantly learning new things about this game.
Yeah.
Even like literally earlier today, like a couple hours ago, I was talking with Etchy, like learning new things about how like because of the fact that some Pokemon have different friendships, their catch rates are slightly different, which I never thought about before, like today.
Yeah, that's why Clefable always breaks out. It has 140 base friendship, and the higher the friendship is, the more likely it is to break out. It's awesome. But we got our Vulpix, which is really nice because I can evolve it later. There's a Firestone I can grab. There's actually one I could have just grabbed, which Pikachu version actually always grabs on that last route I was on. But we don't get that on Eevee. We don't need it. And instead, we can get one in Mansion later if I decide I need a Ninetales. Firestone evolution kind of slow, so you don't really want to go for it unless you have to, because you have to like withdraw it back into your party later and then Firestone it and yada yada yada. So you don't want to do that. And
Yeah.
now we're gonna learn a broken move and also do a synchronized thing.
You're gonna teach Batty Bad, right?
No, I'm not gonna teach Batty Bad.
All right. Yeah, so Amber mentioned in Cerulean that we had the 3 evolution types from Generation 1. These are the Generation 2 evolution types. And we're going to be only learning Glitzy Glow. Glitzy Glow is a 90 base power special move that sets up a light screen. Very busted. It's going to use that secondary effect, absolutely. And then, when you want to talk about the synchronize here?
Yeah, so Etchy is paying this person 10,000 Pokédollars.
A lot of money.
Very expensive. But what that's going to do is until the end of the current day, which at the beginning of the run, the time flipped over to midnight, so he's got plenty of time. It's going to ensure that every wild Pokemon you encounter is a specific nature. So based on the colors he picked in that menu, we'll decide what nature that's going to be. In this case, we are making it modest nature, which is going to be plus special attack minus attack, which is the optimal nature for the Pokemon we're going to catch in a little bit to help finish off the back half of the run.
Yeah, I don't think I hit 28 off the Vulpix. I think if I got the Excellent, it might have made the difference. Being able to be 28 here would give us a damage boost and would be pretty helpful because, yeah, now I'm not going to two-shot. So I think I'm actually going to do this. And I probably should have Sizzly Slided because now I have the, yeah, I have to heal this because of the defense drop for sure. So I'm just going to heal here, not take the risk. Hyper Fang, of course.
Wow.
I hate you. This Eradicate sucks. Ow. Okay, but not flinched. All right.
All right, we're good.
That was the worst case scenario pretty much for that fight.
That Eevee took a lot of hits. Can you give him 3 pets when you're
I
done?
can't. I was actually gonna say this place is pretty scary. We're gonna need some pets here. Let me learn this move really quickly. Double Edge. Really powerful move we talked about earlier. 120 base power becomes 180 because we are also normal type effectively, and we're going to one-shot a lot of things with it. So let me go ahead and heal, and then we can get some pets in once I hit this button. Or switch. Nintendo Switch, whoa. So I'm gonna go here.
That's why they call it that.
All right.
Also, can I real quick read a special donation?
Please.
We got $800 from Steady and Facehugger. As a Stage 4 survivor, this event has always meant a lot to me, and getting my partner to finally watch a Pokemon run. Hi, Tim.
Hi, Tim.
Thank you. I never hear this part of the song because I'm never in here this long. It's so weird.
Trust me, I heard enough of this song with the tournament.
All right, so now we're going to start taking advantage of the double edge. Going to summon the second player here. You don't necessarily need to control this fight normally, but because I do have double edge, I can just X attack double edge, one-shot it. Don't have to worry about this thing putting me to sleep or confusing me or anything like that. So it's just the safest, fastest thing to do.
Yeah, and I think this is also a good time to mention, we're not going to talk about every Pikachu difference, as we obviously haven't this entire time, but Hideout especially is very, very unique in Pikachu version. You're actually mainly doing damage not with the Pikachu, but with a Nidoking, or Nidoqueen if you happen to get unlucky. And so like this fight, you sort of tag team and you zippy zap and poison jab. And yeah, it's really cool to see how those strategies work. And you can kind of use the Nidoking in Eevee version. It's not quite as good, but
it's good if you have like a really bad Eevee. I think it's probably worth it, but our Eevee's awesome, so.
Yeah, it is kind of funny, like in Pokemon Red, Blue, Yellow, if you're familiar with the speedrun for that game, those use Nidoking for basically the entire run. So it's kind of nice that we kind of have like that kind of callback, I guess.
Yeah, it's definitely usable, definitely helpful. It's good because it has both Poison Jab, which is a really powerful poison move, and also has Helping Hand to boost your partner's Pokemon attacks when you do 2 controller stuff. So really good for that. I'm just going to spam double edge here, and my Eevee might faint. So hopefully that does not happen. Hopefully OMG he does not die. And we'll see if I get unlucky or lucky. It's always worth it to risk it, even though you do die if you get like Sonic Boom here, because fainting is not the end of the world, because I would still win the fight. I would just have to revive after.
Yeah, and in an earlier cutscene, your rival gives you 3 revives, so we're not like running low on those or anything like that.
Yeah, this run is so I'm gonna get knocked out here.
You're
this
about
run's
to
very
make
safe by
chat
default.
so upset.
For what?
For just letting the Eevee get knocked out.
I'm sorry. It is very optimal though. Look at that. There's no like, EXP animation. You just go, and now I have to revive it. But the thing is, you have to heal anyway, so it works out totally fine.
And at this point, we're going to be switching off of the Eevee pretty soon, so missing out on the experience from that just doesn't really matter that much.
Yeah.
Speaking of Eevee, did you pet the shoulder Eevee last time?
No. wait. I'm gonna pet the Pika.
no.
Oh,
No.
No, this
He
is a
deserves
pet
some
the
love,
Eevee
okay?
incentive, not pet the Pikachu.
Fine. Sorry. I'll throw you instead later. How about that? So yeah, this is a Grimer that can be really annoying because it has Minimize, which is a move that hopefully we don't see at all later in the run because it will destroy me. But I'm just going to go and hope for the best here. I'm going to headbutt first to try to get the flinch. That's a... Oh, I have double edge. Never mind. This is totally fine. Okay,
Alright.
I don't like that, but we're just going to go for this. And we got it. No problem. So I do have to heal up again, but I don't have to heal right now because I'm actually... No, I do need to still heal, yeah. I'm thinking Pika. Pika has like really weird strats in this section, as we kind of mentioned earlier. It really uses they actually use Nidoking and Rhyhorn, not even use Pikachu in the next fight. But we are going to still use the Eevee here. Eevee is very much a mainstay in this run regardless. And speaking of which, it's time for the part of the game where we become Eevee. Oh my gosh.
Oh, we gotta send Eevee up there first.
That's true.
Do you see something we could stand on here, maybe?
I mean, we can maybe push this like cabinet a couple inches and then stand on top of that.
You're getting the rolling chair. That's not safe.
Oh,
No.
we can stand on it. We lock the wheels before we stand on it, right? Surely.
Locked in.
Chat, remember to do as we say and not as we do, and please don't stand on rolling chairs.
Oh yeah, we're venting right now. That is true. I didn't think about that. How have I never noticed?
No comment.
No comment. Yeah.
Anyway.
We're getting into the triple threat of Jesse and James, Archer 1, and Giovanni, which is an incredibly terrifying set of fights. On Pika version, the last fight's like not really a threat. It's very consistent. But on Eevee version, things can get bad. And it's actually something we rerouted fairly recently, like in the last 2 years on Eevee version. Because we used to do a bunch of different strats, which we'll talk about a little bit more when we get closer. But one of the parts of the new strats is actually replacing Buzzy Buzz with Glitzy Glow. We used to get rid of Sizzly Slide instead, but now we're actually going to use Sizzly Slide on Giovanni to purposely lower their attack on the Persian. And then that sets up a very unique strat that helps us win the fight.
Yeah, and this section also was, so when this game first came out, we had split out the 1 controller category and 2 controller category, thinking that 2 controllers was just going to break the game. And this section with 1 controller was an absolute nightmare. It did not matter which version of the game you were playing. You could be on Pika, you could be on Eevee, you could be on Bulbasaur, I don't know. But like, it did not matter. It was terrible. Archer 1 was like the pinnacle worst fight in the game.
Yeah.
Second to one more fight we're going to see later on in Pokemon Mansion. But with 2 controllers, it's actually really, really cool. It's faster. But this is absolutely going to be one of those sections where we're using 2 controllers a lot for safety. But yeah, it's a really cool section for sure.
Yeah, this is a fight that got rerouted kind of after I did some Pika reroute stuff to use Rhyhorn on Pika version for this fight. I was like, oh, we could just do the same thing with Eevee. Again, Drill Run, very powerful move. High crit chance move, too, which I don't even know if we talked about it. So instead of 1 in 24, it's 1 in 8?
Yes.
Yes. So we can just naturally get a crit, and that saves us time as well. The idea is we're just going to keep boosting up our Rhyhorn with X attacks and spam Drill Run. And it's much... what was the original strat for this fight? I don't even remember.
So the original strat for this fight was to keep Buzzy Buzz, and then you would paralyze the Arbok so that you would be faster than the Arbok, and you could just take it out on the next turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, you basically really don't want like to have Arbok and Weezing alive for like multiple turns, because it can just basically like destroy almost any Pokemon you put on the field if it just like double targets the same Pokemon.
I should have done Glitzy Glow there and then heal with the other monks. Now I might die. We'll see, we'll see. Again, it doesn't matter if I do die because Rhyhorn's going to finish up the fight anyway, but maybe Power of Love? No. Oh. I am destroying this Eevee. I'm so sorry, chat. Please forgive me. But hey, Helping Hand Nidorino is going to help out here, I guess.
Yeah, another part of the old strategy was we would purposely withdraw a Pokemon that would bait out a Poison Jab or the Sludge, either way, from one of the Pokemon. So like Jigglypuff was often used. And you sacrifice the Jigglypuff, you would guarantee the Eevee doesn't get double targeted, because if it does, that can happen.
At least I could have done
This is the worst attack Rhyhorn I have seen.
It's pretty bad.
God.
This is level 25 too, which
Yeah.
is a damage boosting level. Very unfortunate.
I was
but
so
we got
convinced
through.
it was level 24 with how little damage it
I
was
know,
doing.
I know. Fortunately, that's the last time we need the Rhyhorn attack, so it's not going to be the end of the world. I just got to heal Eevee here. I wanted it to be Pikachu, I guess. I just got to heal Eevee here, and then the rest of the fights are pretty normal. So as I get into this next fight, it's just going to be basically the same idea, except I'm going to Glitzy Glow and boost the Eevee up with X special attacks. So not too much to say there. We can do a few donations in that time.
So Fred sent us $1,212.12. Here's 3 of my favorite Pokemon, Butterfree. And that also went towards our Pet the Eevee incentive, so you have 3 more pets on standby.
All right. Sounds good.
And $500 from Eevee Fan 133. Thank you for playing Let's Go Eevee. I got so giddy when I saw this game on the schedule, and I love that there's a Pet the Eevee incentive.
Yeah.
Please pet the Eevee for me.
Will do. We can do a couple more. This is very straightforward.
Hey, I have $100 from Example Daniel. The perfect angry orb, number 100 Voltorb, is my Dex donation. My local tattoo artist wanted to tattoo all the first-gen Pokemon, and I was lucky enough to get my favorite on my body permanently. Voltorb is the perfect example. All Pokemon deserve love, even the ones that need a little more patience to raise. I know even if this isn't the random Pokemon, chat will guess it right 100%. Which chat, I've been watching and y'all haven't gotten it yet, so keep those guesses up.
Process of elimination. We have to eventually get there. Just pay
True.
attention.
When do we think we want to give a hint? We won't give it away.
Ooh.
Is it too early to give a hint?
I feel like we're giving enough hints just by this process of elimination.
All right.
We have $10.01 from Divine Bread. My guess for the mystery Pokemon is whatever Pokemon data entry 101 is, which is Electrode.
It is now Electro. Okay, if somebody guesses it, I'll throw the Pikachu into the crowd.
Oh my gosh.
All right. So here's
Year
the
of Eevee.
Giovanni fight. Like Etchy mentioned, we're going to be only one controllering this fight. Having 2 controllers is a bit of a liability here. And we're going to use an X attack. We're going to Sizzly Slide the Persian to drop its attack. Attack is halved while burned. And it's going to be basically spamming Slash against us. Slash is a high crit rate move, but unlike other modifiers in the damage formula, the burn is not ignored by critical hits. So the critical hit after burned is going to also be half damage. This fight used to have a different strategy where we actually wouldn't use the Eevee against this Persian. Funnily enough, we actually have a party member that would have helped us here. Do you want to talk about that one?
Yeah. So in like the really, really old strategy, we actually used to use Graveler on this fight, and so you would pump it up with X special attacks, and then you would use self-destruct to just get rid of the Persian.
Yeah.
Really, really old strategy. 2021 was just last year, right? Yeah, this is one of those reroutes that I came up with, like, after. It's basically one of those things that was not possible before. It's one of those things that's very obvious in hindsight, but it wasn't possible before because we wouldn't keep Sizzly Slide before. We needed Buzzy Buzz to get through the Jesse and James fight, but because I rerouted the Jesse and James fight to use Rhyhorn instead, we could afford to lose Buzzy Buzz and keep Sizzly Slide, which lets us do the strat I just did here. And that's Hideout. We're almost free from the Eevee section. I know Eevee fans, I'm sorry, but it will always be with us, standing on our head very haphazardly. I believe it's 3 pets I owe right now. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Let's see them. Oh, Eevee. Stop, I need to pet you, stop. There you go. I'll poke your ear, yeah. There we go, let's go.
Ooh, don't forget the shoulder now.
Not the Pico.
Wait, okay, I thought of an optimization. So when you fly, in this game, we normally go to the town map, but you can actually also use techniques from the Play
True.
Eevee
Yeah.
menu. So I could combine petting Eevee with flying out of like places. This is advanced speedrunning 101. Pay attention.
You're routing the pets.
I'm routing the pets. Yeah,
No
we're
matter
getting
how
there.
much you guys try to slow this man down with donations, he can't be stopped.
All right, so we didn't even talk about HMs really, and that's one of the things we're gonna get here. It's not an HM, it's a secret technique. The main thing is we just don't have to teach them Pokemon, so we're actually gonna be flying without teaching fly to a Pokemon.
Yeah, it's
So-
not fly, it's Sky Dash.
Sky Dash, my bad. And there's actually some cool tech with Sky Dash that might come up later. We'll show it, but yeah, we're gonna go ahead and fly on over back to Lavender Town. We're gonna go to Lavender Tower. Hopefully I catch a Ghastly here. Yes, we're finally gonna be catching Pokemon again. Very shortly we'll be catching a ton of Pokemon again. They tend to be in like bursts in this speedrun. But there's also gonna be some pretty normal fights and then another Jesse and James fight. Our last Jesse and James fight until we get a new main Pokemon. And this is also the last scary Jesse and James fight, I'd say.
One quick thing to mention about the secret techniques is that if you're used to playing like the older Pokemon games, when you have to use those like out of field skills like cut or fly, you would need a specific gym badge to be able to use them. And you notice that Etchy was able to fly without having, I believe like normally, yeah, Surge's gym badge. But in this game, you don't actually need the gym badges to use those techniques, which is one of the main reasons that we're able to delay like doing any more gym badges until this late.
Yeah, it's been over an hour since our last gym badge for those keeping up. So we'll be doing one soon, though, I promise. And yeah, now we can see the ghost. We can get a Ghastly, potentially. You're going to see me, once again, kind of take advantage of trainer vision in the next floor. Ghastly is kind of weird. Like we were talking about earlier, like Curvis was mentioning, the spawns here are like really not frequent. I could also get a Cubone here. I totally forgot. Okay. Sometimes they spin left, and then you can just hug the wall, and they won't see you, but they spun right, so I didn't have to do that. And then we're going to fight 2 Haunters, one here and one on the upper floor. And we're just going to use our special Glitzy Glow Psychic move to deal with them. And we can do a few donations while we do that.
Yes, we are getting so many guesses in chat. Y'all are getting so close. We have $46 from Super Paris Fan 9000, donating to represent my favorite Pokemon since I was a child, Paris, who totally deserves to be Pokemon of the day. Is it Paris?
It is not Paris.
All right.
And it is also not a one-shot on this Haunter. Wow. Continue, please.
$10 from Sage Page Mage. My guess is Tentacool, because as far as Pokemon go, it is cool.
Ooh.
Is that it?
It is not Tentacool. In fact, I hate Tentacool because it is like horrible to catch in the speedrun. It's so annoying, and we'll talk about that later. But
Fighting words.
yeah.
$37 from Triss. Have to do a Dex donation for my favorite Vulpix. I've loved Vulpix since Blue version first came out, so I wanted to share my love of her now. $30 from Faulty Sage. 3,000 cents in honor of my favorite Pokemon, Blue Eyes White Dragon.
Oh my gosh, you got it. Wow. Good job.
This legendary dragon is a powerful engine of destruction. Virtually invincible, very few have faced this awesome creature and lived to tell the tale. Weird that I haven't seen them at all during the run.
That's basically our Eevee. That's the same description. So, Actually, no, I can't say that after we missed the Haunter range. Never mind. Gonna get some Ultra Balls here. We already got some from a trainer earlier, and that's actually all the Ultra Balls we'll have for the rest of our catches in the run. Again, just another big upgrade over Great Balls. So we're gonna try to do Ultra Ball, Great Ball for our 2 controller catches for the rest of the run. If I run into something that's really hard to catch, you might see me switch to double Ultra Ball temporarily. Or worst case scenario, you see me go back to Great Ball because I run out of Ultra Balls. Which I don't think I've had any breakouts since the Pidgey, right?
I don't think so.
So I ended up having like a normal amount of breakouts so far, I guess.
So far.
Somehow.
What's the catch count up to?
We're at 30 Pokemon, which is pretty low, honestly. But our catch situation's fine.
What do we need on 17 and 21, I guess?
Pretty much everything, yeah.
Oh.
I would like to get a Pidgeotto there as well.
Do you need Tentacool?
Right now, no, but if I don't get a Ghastly, hey.
You gotta speak it into existence.
That's what I'm saying. So this is kind of an annoying Pokemon. It's actually one we didn't realize we could actually speed up the catch for quite a bit until we learned a bunch of catch rate stuff a couple years ago. So I'm just going to nab it to make sure it doesn't move around because it likes moving around, and then I'm just going to throw immediately. Because I didn't lure, it's lower level, which means it's easier to catch. And even if you don't hit the circle, it's still like 85+% to get in. Cool. Yep. Shouldn't speak ever.
Really
again.
spoke that one into existence.
Okay, we got a nice
too.
there. That should be almost guaranteed. Fun fact, by the way, there is no such thing as a guaranteed catch unless you use a Master Ball in this game because of a programming error. Classic Gen 1 style. Basically, if every shake, there's a 1 in 655/36 chance for it to fail, even if it's supposed to be a guaranteed catch.
Listen, they just really wanted to call back to Gen 1 misses.
Yeah, I guess so.
Feature, not a bug.
Could I send out a quick reminder about our little game to everyone, about anyone who may have just tuned in?
Absolutely.
Yes.
So the whole thing is that we have picked a Pokemon Gen 1 between Dex numbers 5 and 101. You have to send in that Dex donation as the donation amount, and then we will tell you if that guess is right or wrong. If you get it right, we will match that donation, and also Eevee will get, not Eevee, I'm so sorry, Pikachu will get thrown into the crowd.
Yes.
So real quick, we got $28 from Comfy Panda. $28 is my Dex guess and also my favorite Gen 1 Pokemon, Sandslash. Love my spiky boy, loving the run so far, Etchy.
All right, so Jesse and James, this is going to be a different strat. This is what we kind of used to do on the previous Jesse James site way back when. We're going to use Glitzy Glow on the Arbok, set up that light screen immediately to lower the special attacking damage we receive, and then just kind of two-shot the Arbok, one-shot the Weezing ideally. So, going to set up the X special attacks here. Do that. Also, we didn't get a Tower Cubone, unfortunately, so I do, in fact, need Tentacle and also everything else, which is a little scary. Rhyhorn taking a lot of damage there, not a big deal. I'm going to go heal it up right now. That usually also means Weezing will go for the Rhyhorn KO. This fight has smart AI. They will try to actually KO something if they can KO it. So we're going to prevent that from happening. It could still die here, though. We'll see. We'll see. Usually if like one thing is supposed to KO it, the other one's not going to attack it, but okay.
Yeah, one thing to actually mention here, you might be noticing ever since we got into Pokemon Tower, every time that Etchy's been hitting these super effective Glitzy Glows, there's like an extra text box and Eevee kind of turns around and looks at the trainer. So once a Pokemon gets high enough friendship, it gets this thing called turnarounds. And basically that means that every time you use a super effective move or you heal it from low HP, you just lose 2 seconds, which is great.
Yep. And in fact, our entire endgame is routed around that fact. At least in normally. This category is a little bit different. And I will be talking more about what's going to happen at the end of the run again, if you missed my explanation earlier. This is not the normal 90% category that we ran last time at GDQ. When Eddaket ran it, it was a completely different category, technically. And we are going to do a very cool glitch that is extremely difficult at the end of the run.
Yeah. And it's also a bit of a sad moment. We're just leaving Lavender Tower, which is where Eevee has battled its last battle.
Yeah. Can we get some Fs in chat for Eevee? So I'm going to do some menus here. I'm going to put the Ghastly into slot 1. It's going to be our new main. Goodbye, forever, our friend. I'm going to get rid of all these Pokemon I do not need as well.
Now, just to reassure everyone, even though we're not using Eevee anymore, will we still be able to pet the Eevee?
Of course, of course.
Perfect.
Yeah, even if you deposit it, it's always on top of your head. You actually can't like get rid of it normally, so you're just stuck with it. But yes, we will do plenty of pets still. Remember to keep donating for that incentive to support a great cause.
And don't forget that the donation also going towards our milestone to get Fallout New Vegas. We just need $67,000 in order to get that met, and you don't have to add to it or anything. Your donation automatically goes towards that milestone.
Awesome. Yes, please do so. If you want to see more runs, I know you all want to, please, please, please donate as you can. And now, time for a big catch section. What are we going to do here, guys?
Yeah, so once we run from the Snorlax and get onto Route 17, we're going to be looking for a lot of different things. We are going to be looking for Psyduck, we're going to be looking for Pidgeotto, we are going to be looking for Doduo, and we're going to be going for a very, very important Pokemon for this run, Ponyta.
Yes, very, very important. Why is it important?
So the reason it's important is, so as you can see, we are riding the Rhyhorn. Once we get Ponyta and evolve it into Rapidash, that is going to be the fastest ride Pokemon tied with Aerodactyl that we can get. So, and not only does it make movement just throughout the game generally way faster, it is going to be very important for the special glitch oversight we're going to be doing near the end of the run.
I'm just going to call it a glitch. I don't care. It's unintended behavior, sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're going to keep riding the Rhyhorn until we get that Rapidash, which will be our main ride Pokemon and special Pokemon later as well. But yeah, there's a lot of things I need to catch here. I do kind of need all of them, unfortunately. Pidgeotto, I do have one more chance to get later. I can get one as I surf south of Pallet Town, because we are going to go to Cinnabar Island. That's what it's called. Yeah, it's another trainer skip, taking advantage of trainer vision there. You just got to hug the fence. Oh, okay, that's a good start.
Right.
All right.
Yeah, and it's worth pointing out like we mentioned earlier, like, oh, it's like nice to get a Rhyhorn, but like we can continue if we don't get one. You literally cannot finish the route.
Yeah, in this category, you
without
cannot. Yeah.
Yeah, and even in NMS, you would have to really know what you're doing if you're trying to skip Rapidash.
Yeah, and you would lose a lot of time in the process. So, very required Pokemon. It's very interesting. Like the actual required Pokemon for this run are very non-standard Pokemon, which is kind of cool to see other Pokemon get the shine in a speed run for once. Even this Machop, there's like strats I can situationally use the Machop in for like certain battles.
It would have helped in that one fight that went pretty bad.
I could have used it on the Raticate to do like Brick Break plus like Headbutt or Double Edge or whatever, and it would have guaranteed one-shot the Raticate, but I was greedy and did not do that. So we got the Machoke here. We are now at 33 caught Pokemon, and I need 4 other things here. So let's see how that goes. And I already lost 1 Ultra Ball to this Ponyta not cooperating.
Yeah, I believe you've also already used all your Repellers, so you can't do the Repel Lure trick. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes things a little bit scarier. More ponies.
There is a good handful of backups that Etchy can get if he misses out on any of these things he's looking for. It's just at this point, if he needs to resort to any of those backups that are quite a bit slower than the things we're looking for.
So I'm going to go ahead and do this. We're just going to instantly Rare Candy it to get the Rapidash and start moving quicker here. Even though I don't necessarily want to move quicker, I kind of want to take my time to make sure I actually get these catches. If I at least get 2, yeah, I can totally make up the other ones. Ideally, I get like Doduo Psyduck here, and then I can try to get Pidgeotto on the next route. And if I don't get that, I can make it up with other stuff. But yeah, hopefully this works out okay. I should be good on lures regardless. I think I stopped them fairly early in Rock Tunnel. Actually, no, I stopped them at the end. So I might actually be a little low, but it should be fine.
Are you planning the Ninetales already?
Yeah, I'm planning the Ninetales. I have to. So we'll see if I get anything else here.
If we get some time, I have so many guesses that we can just kind of
Yes,
speed
please.
run
Go,
through.
go, go.
All right, $14.80 from Emily for the best noodle Dragonair. Yes
No.
or no?
No.
All right, $84 from CheeseNat. Dex donation for Doduo, the best bird Pokemon. Yes or no?
No.
No.
Let's see. Another 37 since my favorite is already leading the run. I'm Vulpixing this amount for another fluffy favorite. Vulpix, yes or no?
No.
No.
$8 got to donate for my favorite Pokemon Wartortle. Yes or no?
No.
$26.70 from Muck. Got to donate for the Pokemon I got my nickname from. Here's 1 Muck for every year I've existed. Yes or no?
No.
Dang, we picked a good one.
I
Wow.
really did. Maybe I should have picked a different Pokemon. One that was more, I can't say anything. I don't want to give a hint.
All right, $10 from Who Grooves On. I'd like to take a guess at the Pokemon. A Pokemon that doesn't seem to get a lot of love. Is it Dugong?
Ooh, I like it, but no.
All right, $6 from Glaceon1129. 6 for my favorite starter from the original 151, Charizard.
No, it is not Charizard.
$40 from Lindensung. This run is getting wiggly tough. Here's my Dex donation for the chosen Pokemon. Thank you to all the runners for your hard work and dedication. Is it Wigglytuff?
It is not Wigglytuff.
$25 from Irony Overload. My guess for the secret Pokemon is 115 Kangaskhan. And survey says?
Nope.
Nope. Okay, I have 2 lures. We're fine. I have to like wait this out.
Yeah.
This is really unlucky. That's not what I need.
Wow.
I think am I supposed to run into them? Eevee.
Eevee,
That's not what I
oh
need.
my
Come
gosh.
on.
That's like way more rare than anything else you actually want to get.
Yeah, literally, I just need one of the other things, and we're just getting
Wow.
4 Pidgeotos instead.
Speaking
Oh,
of
Dodo.
Eevee, Speaking of Eevee, we owe 4 pets right now.
All right. I can do that. I guess when I fly to
Yeah.
Pallet Town will be a good time to do
Optimize
that.
the menu.
I'll try it. I feel like it's not. Oh no, it's not going to be optimal because I had the lure too. So
Oh, fair enough.
Not
Catching an
as good.
Eevee here is a viable option on Pikachu version, and similarly, there's a Pikachu that can spawn in the forest at the beginning of the game, which is a viable option for Eevee.
Yeah, on Pikachu, the Eevee catch is worse. They're technically the same odds, actually, but you just see way more things in Viridian Forest. However, Pikachu could get a second Pokemon out of it with Flareon, but we never come across a Thunderstone in the run, so you would never get a Raichu.
yeah. Yeah, I got really unlucky with just like general catches this run. I had to put a lot of pressure to get a lot of things late, and that usually is a bad sign. The best runs are typically the ones that catch a lot of Pokemon early, because then it's just less to worry about late game. You can just go really fast. You don't ever have to wait for anything, and you can just go, go, go. But that is not the case. Although I will say, I think both the Eevee and Pikachu no mount skip records do not have very high catch counts and have to make it up end game and just get lucky with it. So I'm just going to leave. Hopefully a Psyduck shows up. Nope. And we're done with that. So no Psyduck for us today. Sorry, Psyduck fans. I'm also a fan. But now I have to catch Tentacool and Staryu, and hopefully we see Tangela. Now this is where things get weird. Now the run gets weird, because now I have to make up 2 catches somewhere. The easy one to make up that I will probably honestly be forced to do is the Moonstone in the Copycat House in Saffron City. Really slow to get, but it is guaranteed. It's just you pick up a stone in the 2nd floor of a house, and then you use it on like Clefairy, which I don't have, but I can use it on Nidoking or Nidoqueen. And then I just want to have to catch a bunch of like one-off Pokemon that are really hard to catch, and I don't have a lot of Ultra Balls, so it's really important that I get the catches in cleanly. And that might be why I'm forced to get the Copycat Moonstone, because I just don't have Ultra Balls to spare.
May I suggest going to Route 6 and catching a Psyduck?
Route 6. That might...
It's been done before.
I saw somebody else do that some GDQ.
Still have that.
We can do that. We could also do Venonat for Venomoth on...
Shout out to Dynam.
I would like to not lose time, however. I would like this to go fast. So hopefully things just work out for us on this next section. So we're
Don't
going to learn
forget, we
C-Skim
have
here.
4 pets that are owed.
Yes. Yeah, 4 pets will be when we fly out after learning C-Skim, which is our secret technique. It is basically just surf. So we can now surf on a actual surfboard. Eevee learns it here, and I will do the 4 pets in just a moment. Would you like to do some donations while I fly and pet?
Yes, again, I'm going to speed around these. $61 from Hunter, Poliwhirls, Pokemon of the Day.
Big fan, but no.
$38 from Anonymous. I'm guessing Ninetales is a mystery Pokemon, the most glamorous Pokemon of all.
Big fan, but no.
$79 from a Pokemon trainer. My dex guess is Slowpoke because he's just a chill guy.
No. This guy's just watching me pet the Eevee, by the way. It's so funny.
$27 from Gamma Ray. $27 to guess Sandslash.
Sandslash, big fan, but no.
$50 from Brock. Dex donation for Diglett because who doesn't love Diglett?
We did talk about Diglett, but I was talked out of it.
$10 from BMO. Caterpie.
Nope.
$120 from the Rurik. Staryu says, yeah.
We are going to catch a Staryu, and it's actually our next main Pokemon, so you did win that guess. But it is not the guess for what's going to happen for the Pokemon of the day, I guess. What are these Pokemon? Wow, this is so bad, dude. No Tangela stuff. Okay, at least, okay, Staryu Tentacool. We take those. So I'm going to catch these. Who wants to talk about why Staryu is so cool?
It's just a guy. Oh, you want the... Okay. No, so...
In the speed run, yeah.
So, Staryu, we can pick up a Water Stone on this very route, actually, to immediately evolve it to Starmie. This Staryu comes in at level 43. If you've been paying attention at home, the last battle we did was against level 34 Pokemon. So this is a hefty boost. And Staryu and Starmie, or Starmie specifically, has a Water Psychic typing. And Water Psychic is just a phenomenal typing, especially for a Kanto game. The only gyms that are going to be super effective against us are the Grass Gym and the Electric Gym, both of which are the lowest level gym leaders we have left. In addition, the Staryu is going to start with the move Psychic, which is very, very good. We got the Scald TM from Misty way back at like minute 36. And when we beat Lieutenant Surge, we're going to get the Thunderbolt TM. So we're going to have incredible coverage. We're also going to have, we're not going to have Hydro Pump because that is a different category. And yeah, it's just a phenomenal Pokemon. There's no Dark type Pokemon in the game, so you don't have to worry about the psychic immunities or anything like that. Like, it's just a fantastic Pokemon.
There are Dark type moves, which are annoying.
Yes.
But,
Yeah. Starmie also has really good special attack and speed, which are 2 most important stats.
Yep. Gonna cancel the lure there. I am out of Ultra Balls. This is gonna be awesome.
This is where it gets fun.
This is where the fun begins for sure. I think so. We're gonna have to get the Firestone. I guess I am probably just locking in the Copycat Moonstone now, and then I'll catch like Magmar or something with Great Balls. Oh boy. So I still need Coughing. There you are. And I think I'm actually just gonna go ahead and do my menu now. So I'm gonna go ahead and put in Staryu.
Okay.
Swap in a bunch of other stuff here. Get rid of that.
This is a really important part of the run. We are going to be locked in, looking at the stats of this star.
All right.
Although, yeah, okay.
Oh, that's really good. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Really high special attack, which is what you want to see, and good enough speed. Perfectly fine. This category actually has a little bit more leniency for Starmies you can run compared to the normal 80% no mount skip category. So even like really bad Staryus are not the end of the world, but higher stats do mean just more time save. So it'll be nice to cash in some of that because I've lost a lot of time to petting Eevees this run.
Yeah, and then the no mount skips category, you would teach Hydro Pump to Staryu before evolving it. And the reason we don't do that in this category is that most of the fights that Hydro Pump would actually be useful for, we are going to skip anyways.
Yeah, and don't worry, I will explain mount skips probably once we do the gym leader catch-up stuff in like 10 minutes. So we're going to do triple Rare Candy here. Let's see what our stats are. So I'm at 120 and 122 speed, perfectly fine. Totally okay star. I would say a little bit Not like super high special attack, but like good enough, like probably average.
Yeah.
And
like,
now it's time to suffer.
I think minimum special attack at level 46 is like 108, something like that, 107.
108 sounds right.
And then speed could be as low as 114, I believe it is. It could be 113 if you're doing 45. And the number we're really looking for is 117. 117 means we're going to outspeed everything, or 118 means we would outspeed everything on the Blaine fight coming up. There is like minor optimizations if you have even higher speed, but it's not super important.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the Starmie does have enough speed that you could skip using a 4th-thrower cannon if you wanted to, but
I didn't see my Great Ball count. Did either of you?
it was 9 before you caught the...
9? That's it? Ugh. That's really bad. I wanted to just see... I would have gone for like Ditto Magmar if I could, but that's really rough.
I mean, you still can.
I still can. This is true. I was sincerely thinking about just going to buy Ultra Balls before I entered Mansion, but that is not the best idea. So here's a fight where you have to 2 control of this, otherwise this fight is miserable. One of the worst fights in the game otherwise. And we're just gonna Psychic and hope nothing bad happens.
Yeah.
Also, can you even buy Ultra Balls at this point?
No.
Oh yeah, I never got another gym badge, so never mind. I can buy more Great Balls, I guess. But there are better ways to get other Great Balls.
Yeah, when we were in Hideout, I mentioned that in the 1-controller days, the Archer fight was 2nd worst fight in the game. This was the worst fight in the game. Strategy for this was either you would X special defend and hope you live 2 Thunderbolts without getting paralyzed, or a really funny idea was to lead the Eevee, Blitzy Glow turn 1 to set up a light screen, and then Double Edge to kill yourself, and then bring out the star.
Yeah.
Absolutely horrible fight.
Yeah, so what we ended up doing for a long time was just use Doduo or Dodrio in slot 2. That way it baits the Thunderbolt because it always goes for the KO on the bird. And then that way Starmie never gets hit. And I think Amber's the one who was like, I'm not going to do that anymore, right? Was it you? Somebody.
I don't think, not me first.
Somebody was like, I'm just not going to do that. I'm just going to not get unlucky. Because it is very unlikely to get punished. The punish would be Thunderbolt on Starmie that paralyzes, and you also can't attack because you're paralyzed. So it's like 2.5% or something. Super, super unlikely. And we just risk it. And it worked out totally fine there. Rapidash Thunderbolt is exactly what you want. Speaking of exactly...
All right.
I was going to say, speaking of exactly what I want, but I don't know if I really want this guy.
Ditto has a pretty bad catch rate.
Yeah, oh, look at that red circle off the bat. Please attack. Nope, you're going to jump.
This will either be really good for the run or really good for charity.
True, true. Again, $20 per breakout, and I'm at 4 breakouts.
Real quick, $25 from S. Jane Winchester. My guess for the mysterious Pokemon is Jinx.
Nope.
Nope.
No Jinx. Okay.
Wow.
All right. I need 1 extra Pokemon, and it's probably just going to be Copycat Moonstone, unfortunately, which is less fun, but might need to be done here because I'm down to 5 Great Balls now with no Silver Raspberries. I do not want to catch a Magmar right now. But yeah, we have more evolutions here. We can do a couple donations.
Absolutely. We have $60 from Fiery Phoenix. Could it be the round Poliwag? My favorite Gen 1 is a water Pokemon, except I always play Firestarter. Poliwag?
Nope.
No.
$18 from Brian, throwing in my guess for the Dex Hunt, the best bird Pokemon of all, Pidgeot.
No. Nope. Good choice.
$9.30 from Rock Bomber. My guess for the chosen Pokemon is my favorite of all time, number 93, Hunter.
Nope.
Nope.
Wow. $9 from Tangela OSRS. My guess for the secret Pokemon is Tangela, super underrepresented for Gen 1.
Big fan. Would have loved to see it this run, but no.
$41 from Zubat fan. A wild Zubat appeared. A wild Zubat appeared. A wild Zubat appeared. Giving some love to the best bitey boy. Is it Zubat?
It is not Zubat.
Nope.
All right, $13.10 from Shar. Pokedex Dono to guess one of my faves, Lapras, and to contribute to the Eevee Battle Retirement Pet Fund.
It is not Lapras.
Don't forget to keep applying your donations to that Pet the Starter incentive. On top of that, your donation will also automatically get applied to our bonus game Fallout New Vegas milestone. We need a total of $700,000 raised to meet that, and we just need $62,000 to go. I think we can hit that during this run. What do you think?
I think we can. I will throw the Pikachu, so... Oh, okay, I'm just going to go for it. I don't care.
All right.
I'm going to wait for the spinner to spin. Okay. By hitting an encounter, the spinners lock in to reset their cycles, so... I'm just going to go for it because I don't want to lose more times. I'm just going to not get unlucky, right?
Yeah.
We got a fast cycle, so that means it's definitely going to work out for us. I rushed to great. That's really bad. The difference between like great and excellent is usually like 12%, so that's fairly meaningful, but I'm just going to get lucky. Easy.
Easy.
And that is the final catch
Yes,
of the run.
we're free. We're free. And I'm getting like a ton of evolutions done early as a result, which doesn't really matter, but it does mean I can like empty out my party if I really want to. But yeah, another evolution, we can do a couple more donations.
Yep, I have $14 from Spicy Chickpea. Who's that Pokemon? Is it Kakuna?
No.
No.
$27 from Armadillo64. My guess is Sandshrew, the cutest armadillo. Also putting this towards the incentive to have Spike beat Babopolis and DK Tropical Freeze later because we all need a little more Spike in our lives. Y'all are doing so great with that, but before I go on, is it Sandshrew?
No.
Nope.
All right, we are at $7,800 out of the $25,000 that we need to unlock that Beat Babopolis incentive. So donate towards petting that Eevee, donate towards petting the Donkey Kong, whichever like you're feeling like, and also, once again, twofer will go to that milestone.
So yeah, I'm gonna go grab this max elixir here. We're not gonna use it for another 50 minutes, but it is very important to have it. And then we're gonna grab this escape rope, and then we are out of, or sorry, not escape rope. We're gonna secret key, and then we're going to escape rope out of here, which will be right there.
Yeah, the gym requirement to enter Blaine's gym is to have the secret key,
Yep.
which is oddly the same as it was in Generation 1.
Whoa.
And now we're actually going to enter the gym and finally get our third badge.
Finally, our third gym badge, the 7th gym leader. Let's go. So this is it looks very different, but it is the same as all the other gens. We're just gonna do a little quiz, answer correctly, because if I mess up, I do have to fight a trainer, and then after that, we will fight Blaine. And again, I am a water Pokemon that is now level 46. We have jumped up from that Eevee to a Starmie, and we're going to destroy Blaine, but Blaine is still very good at making you lose time, so hopefully he is nice to us today.
It's a way cooler version of the quiz. He turned it into a game show.
For sure, for sure. He does a little jig every time you answer correctly.
I love the Blaine in the background, and then when the camera's gonna pan, there's a little Magmar over the door. So good.
And yeah, as I finish the quiz, make sure you keep your eyes on Eevee, okay, everybody? Very important. Not Tombstoney. They changed it from the original games to Tombstoney. And I'm going to say any of these here will work. He will say yes. And now watch Eevee. Eevee Pog, let's go. Finally a boss fight. It's been so long. Oh my gosh. Hope we got burn heals. That's the worst thing that Blaine can do to you here is burn you. Now, the good news is this Starmie has good speed, so I will outspeed everything on this fight. The nightmare scenario is you have bad speed, and then you get burned by Magmar, and then you're getting burned, you're getting hit, and you have to heal, and all these weird things happen. But we should have a fairly normal fight, right, Blaine? Oops. All right, this is the standard fight. Totally fine. Gonna heal the confusion with the free item we got earlier. No burn. All right, very nice.
Good.
Back to the standard fight.
Yeah, very standard. We did get 2 free full heal items in the run. That was one of them, the Pewter Crunchies. The other one is the Shaler Sable. We'll just keep it for later if we need it. Not a big deal. And yeah, we're gonna outspeed everything here. The Starmie is very okay. Big fan of it. And how many pets do we owe, by the way? How are we doing on that?
I was just about to interrupt you. We have 3 pets.
3 pets, okay. And how many total, like, remaining do we have, potentially?
You're gonna make me do math.
Yeah, I am making you do math, yes. Hey, I'm doing math this entire run, so.
It's only fair.
Yeah.
It'll be like 19 pets after,
Okay,
18,
all right.
19.
I think we can get all 19 in.
I agree. And
We got a
also,
whole hour.
I'm feeling kind of bad for chat here in our guessing. They've gotten so close.
They've gotten
They have.
so
Yes,
close.
They have.
They have gotten very close.
Do we want to give a hint? Because
Okay.
I think I have a good idea for a hint.
Okay, you give your hint.
It's an evolution.
Okay.
Ooh, okay.
My hint was going to be stop guessing your favorite Pokemon. All right, we got another evolution. We are now up to 47 Pokemon. So our last 3 Pokemon are going to be the Ninetales, which we grabbed the Firestone for earlier. It's going to be a Lapras and a Porygon. Now, are we going to catch those? No, they're going to be gift Pokemon. Gift Pokemon are the fastest Pokemon you can get. We saw we get the Magikarp at the very start of the run earlier. Super, super fast to get it. Probably the 2nd fastest Pokemon to get in the entire game before or after the Porygon. So we're going to get the Porygon and the Lapras once we free Silphco from Team Rocket's control. But before we do that, we gotta go get some more gym badges. We're gonna go back to Surge, and we're gonna go back to Erica, get those gym badges. Again, we're like 10 to 15 levels higher than them. We're gonna destroy them. Absolutely no problem. So while I do those, I should probably explain what I mean by mount skip just a little bit. We'll talk about it again when we get closer, but we've been saying mount skip a few times. That's what this category is all about. We split up the categories from any percent and any percent no mount skips. So this category does the mount skips. Now, these are skips basically taking advantage of the trainer vision that we talked about earlier. So I'm going to do this menu first, which is always weird because the Rapidash spawns in. It's very annoying. Gonna fly on over here.
You gonna pet the Eevee?
Oh, I will pet the Eevee. I guess I'll do it as soon as I enter the building to make sure I don't like do weird stuff with Rapidash. Let me pet first, and then I'll yap. But yeah, so mount skips are basically a glitch that lets us skip past trainer vision completely by taking advantage of, I guess, a programming quirk of how Rapidash and Aerodactyl were made. Basically, all you have to know is trainer vision is like 25-something units wide, and Rapidash and Aerodactyl can move at a speed of 26 units per frame. So literally, it's just if every 26 units of like distance, there is a 0.72 window of Eevee. 0.72 window where you can just run and then skip a trainer battle. And because there's only 4 trainer battles after the point of getting Rapidash that are outside where you can ride the Rapidash, that means that we can only skip the trainers in Victory Road. Now, if all the math I mentioned doesn't make sense, I did put up a video on my YouTube last month explaining everything and how it works, how we figured it out, all the math behind it, all that stuff. If you just look up Etchy mount skips on YouTube, you'll find it. So definitely check that out if you want to learn more. And again, we'll explain it more as we get closer to them as well.
Yeah, and one of the kind of annoying things about it is very specific to Rapidash and that other Pokemon, Aerodactyl. Even though, like, visually, if you look at it, like, Persian and Arcanine, like, they move the same speed. Like, they, visually in the game, they're moving the same speed. They're actually not.
Yeah.
Aerodactyl and Rapidash literally are a little bit faster, and that little bit is enough to blow past the vision.
Yep, just spamming Scald here. But yeah, the for reference, when I say unit, I literally mean like this much. It's really tiny. The skips I'm going to do are extremely precise. Took hours and hours and hours and hours of research and testing to actually get them to a workable, speedrun viable state. Hopefully they don't troll me at all in this run. I will save just to make sure I can show them off. But you'll look forward to that in about 40 minutes. No, less than that. Like 35 minutes, yeah. We can clap for that, sure, yeah. Very easy, but...
We had the type disadvantage. How did we get through it?
I know. The hardest part of Let's Go is defeating Surge. Actually, we didn't. I don't think we mentioned why we delay Surge other than the fact that it's easy now.
Yeah. Normally, when you leave the gym and go back out, cut the tree down again because you can't fly away at that point. There's a whole cutscene with Misty, and it's pretty long. I don't know how long it is exactly, but
Almost a minute, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty long. So just being able to fly away here, we can skip that entirely.
I've been sorting donations. Did you do those 3 pets?
I did. I swear.
We are getting so many guesses.
Yeah, hit him.
$26 from Ogden. Is Raichu the young zipper zapper in question?
It is not.
No.
$57 from Star. My dex guessed 57 for my favorite Pokemon, Primate.
I'm gonna do this now.
Nope,
No.
not Primate.
My guess for the secret Pokemon is Sea King, often forgotten unless you were hunting for Dratini in the Safari Zone.
We forgot about it. Nope.
That was $10 from Kanto Kairu.
We do more.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Oh, yeah.
There's so many of them. All right, $148 from Raz. Throwing my Dex donation for 148 Dragonair. Probably not it, but hey, it's for charity. Less than 3.
Heck yeah.
It's not it, though.
$34 from Rebecca Overload. An old champion of Generation 1 speedrunning. The secret Pokemon must be number 34, Nidoking.
It is not.
And as a reminder, I would love if your donation matches the dex numbers. So I'm getting a lot of like sending in $5 and guessing a Pokemon that's not that dex number. So make sure that your donation matches the dex number that we're looking for.
Yeah, make Chibi's day easier.
$82 from Jack of Bars. My guess for the Pokemon Challenge is Magneton.
No Magneton.
$91 from Neil, donating the Pokedex number for my favorite, Cloyster. You wouldn't have happened to pick the Grinning Shell as Pokemon of the day, have you?
The Grinning Shell. No. Here's Erica's gym. She also has a gym leader requirement, but it's to show her a cute Pokemon. And all Pokemon are cute, so we're just gonna show Starmie. And that's it. And then they smell the Starmie and give it back to you. It's, yeah. Anyways, this gym's really straightforward. Again, the trainer vision's like really thin and weird in this game. So even though there's a bunch of trainers, they'll never ever see you unless you deliberately try to get seen by them.
Even if you're in front of them, you have to run like right up in front of these lines too.
Sometimes you remember that this game was made for children. And here I am playing it for 6 years or whatever. Anyways, yeah, this fight's gonna be very simple as well. We're gonna spam Psychic. We're gonna one-shot everything. And I almost wanna give another hint, but I can't think of a hint that's like not.
I have a decent hint.
Okay.
I don't think it'll give it too much away. It is a Pokemon we have seen so far in this run in battle.
Oh, interesting, interesting. There's a lot of those.
There's a lot of them, but it does narrow it down. So.
Yeah, I'm actually really surprised no one's gotten it yet, but I guess I shouldn't be too surprised. I did pick a weird one. Sorry, everybody.
Quick shout out to our donations crew for going
Yes,
through all
thank
of
you,
these
thank
and helping
you.
me out with it.
Can we get some applause for the donations crew?
Oh.
And yeah, I'm gonna spam Psychic, so if you got more donations, feel free.
Yep, I got
Dex or otherwise.
I got $50 from Jackie, donating $49 plus 1 for Pokemon 49 Venomoth.
Ooh, we did talk about it, but no.
Donating for Pokedex number 44, Gloom.
No.
That's 44 from Sting Moon. $81 from Magico 13, $81 for my favorite pile of sentient industrial debris, Magnemite.
Big fan of Magnemite, but no.
$24 from Marine Monarch, a guess for my beloved spooky snake, Arbok.
Ooh, no.
$10 from Caleb P. Is our daily Pokemon the best original Pokemon to exist? Missing no?
Oh, I win.
No.
That would have been really mean if we picked that.
But also funny it was guessed before the real one.
That is, we got Blue Eyes White Dragon and Missing No before we got our guess.
$39 from a fellow Pokemon trainer. The answer is a Jigglypuff, seen from above.
No.
$33 from Shikagoku, the perfect number 33, which refers to Nidorino, your favorite Pokemon, because you absolutely love Bill. Please let it be Bill, and love your run so far. Is it Bill?
It is not Bill.
It's not Bill.
Quick little tech here that I figured out a while ago is if you do a little bit of movement, you can buffer it back towards the door and then do the fly animation. You skip the part where you fly up into the air and like visibly fly off screen because the gym overhang of the door prevents your character from going up, so you save like a second.
Also, yes, he did just fly from Celadon to Celadon.
Yes, it is faster than cutting the bush and
I
running back.
love when that's optimal in a Pokemon.
Yeah.
It happens, it's pretty sparingly, but when it happens, it's always a good
They
time.
just always made it so slow to cut bushes. I don't know what the deal is. Even Rock Tunnel, it's faster to walk around all the way around than it is to cut the bush, even though it's like right there. But it's Silph time. We're gonna see Jesse and James again. We're gonna actually fight Blue, who was not our rival, sort of our rival. Well, he causes problems in this speed run, I guess, is one way to put it. I did actually deposit the Dodrio, which gave us the safe fight, so I have to do the dangerous fight now, where I will be using Fire Blast on Rapidash to try to hit through an Exeggutor. Exeggutor is one of the only Pokemon that actually resists everything you do from Starmie's end, because it's a Grass Psychic type, which is really annoying. Fortunately, we have Rapidash or Dodrio to help carry here. The problem is that if I do miss the Fire Blast, it will pretty much always set up Light Screen, which makes the Charizard that comes up after it really hard to deal with. The good news is I do have good special attack, so I'm probably fine even if that does happen, but we'll see what happens.
Just
the other
simply
good-
hit the Fire Blast.
The other good news is this is the only one we have to fight in the whole game.
That's true, it's true. But yeah, Blue is literally like, hey, there's a huge criminal organization taking over the building, but you should practice against me first and potentially lose and get sent back to the Pokemon Center instead of doing that right now. So We're going to do that, and hopefully that is not it. We just hit the Fire Blast.
And then he also says, go deal with it yourself.
Yeah, he doesn't even help us.
Easy.
All right.
All right. I also do want to give a special shout out to Dynam for coming up with Magmar strats. Magmar, so something that's a little bit interesting about that is you need to use the X special if you're using Rapidash, or you need an X attack if you want to use Dodrio. Magmar,
Oh, okay, that works.
Okay, yeah.
Sure.
Magmar actually has both Fire Punch and Flamethrower, so you can actually flex which X item you want to use. You're not typically catching Magmar. We caught a Magmar this run, but that is certainly a way you can get through the fight.
And now it is time for the worst fight in the entire speedrun of all time, actually. So,
Chat, don't let us down, chat. That's all I'm going to say.
chat, it's up to chat here.
Yeah.
Because this is not a normal battle. This is a true double battle, as we call them in the Pokemon speedrunning community, where we have an AI partner. Our good old buddy Chat will be helping us out here and probably tanking the entire fight for us.
Yeah.
But yeah, why is this fight so bad?
Yeah, so not only do you have to deal with your AI partner doing, which always chooses the best possible move
Always.
for sure.
Yeah, totally.
These two leads are actually both extremely annoying. So we're actually going to be aiming for the Muck here. The Muck has Toxic, it has Minimize, so it might have Protect. Yeah, it has Protect as well. So it can basically just like Toxic stall you. The Electrode has Thunderbolt, which does a ton of damage against Army, and we just got the best turn one. That was the best thing that could possibly happen.
Yeah, and other than the weird things that can happen in this fight, if you didn't notice, it took like 10 seconds for the turn to actually happen. This fight just has a ton of delay for things happening for no reason.
Also, the Cubone that chat is using is level 36. It could totally be a Marowak right now.
Yeah, they're just scamming us completely. So yeah, we're gonna go for the Golbat. Ideally what happens is the Cubone just double Bone Rings Eradicate. Not super likely because there's other moves it likes to use. But we did get the perfect opening. We're in a great spot. This fight will guaranteed be 4 turns as a result, but it could be 3 turns, but no.
Not guaranteed.
Chat let us down, it's okay. Actually, Cubone let us down. I'm not gonna blame chat.
Does
I
the
blame
double crit still kill?
No.
Oh.
I know, sorry. But yeah, this what happens in the second phase of the fight usually is this Raticate's constantly spamming Sucker Punch on you. So even if you're faster than it doesn't matter because it's always Sucker Punching, which is a Dark type move, so it's super effective against you. And usually you go into this Raticate with a little bit more damage taken. Yeah, I've got the double crit. Unfortunately, not quite there. But that answers your question, Curvis.
Pretty good fight, though, all things considered.
Yeah, this is
that
the
was
dream.
really
If you
good.
get this in a run, you're so happy. If you're getting anything that isn't like a 5-turn, you're ecstatic on a good run.
And that Electrode can really mess things up. It can go for Thunderbolt turn 1. It can paralyze you.
You can go
be
for
fully
Thunderbolt
paralyzed.
turn 1 and turn 2
And turn 3.
Yeah, and you basically are in a heal loop at that point. Like, you
Yep.
have to just wait until it self-destructs.
And then you
or
run
die
out of
to
super
Cubone.
potions, and then it's over.
Yeah. Yeah, the Electrode can just crit you too, and if you get crit by that Electrode, you only have Super Potion. You don't have Hyper Potion to heal like all the way back up, so then you're low HP for everything else, and then you just keep getting hit by Sucker Punch.
Yep.
Let's see, the Golbat as well, if you give that a turn, it can crunch you, which does a lot of damage, and defense drop you. So none of that happened, which was great.
Did you say Wheezing Protect too?
Yeah, Weezing can also protect, which is great.
But
It's all great, yeah.
But you should run this game, chat.
Yeah, sure. It's literally, that's like the only bad fight, I swear. Everything else there's like safety strats for.
Yeah, there's definitely no other fights after this that control you.
No.
No. At least in this category, it's pretty okay, I guess. But yeah, these teleporter pads are kind of interesting. You can save a little bit of time if you perfectly aim at them by like, if you enter them with your character pointing at the center, you skip like a turn animation where your character tries to align themselves and then walk onto the pad. That's relevant for Sabrina's gym where there's like 30 of them and we have to keep going through all of them. So that's something that takes a lot of practice to get good at, and also only saves like a couple seconds.
Yeah, that's also relevant for like anytime you enter an elevator or anytime you like open a door using the card key.
Yeah, there's a lot of very minor movement optimizations that I just have not talked about because they're not super interesting. The one benefit of using Rapidash for the blue fight from earlier is I get to use Stomp on Wheezing here. Normally with Dojo, you just kind of attack or do agility or something. Stomp has a chance to flinch, so we could flinch the Wheezing and save a little bit of time here, which we definitely will because this is GDQ, and everything good always happens. Yes!
Easy.
Let's go. It can like Thunderbolt paralyze you, which is the nightmare scenario. And then it can actually force you to lose a turn if that No. Yeah, it can just be annoying. Yeah, so you don't want to deal with that.
Well, we do have the paralyzed heals, so it's not too bad.
Yeah, it's just you might lose a turn and then have to. No, you don't lose a turn. You just have to heal it, which you kind of have to do if you're going to use Rapidash for other stuff later, which ends up happening.
Yeah, on Pika version, we actually don't buy paralyzed heals because it's a Pikachu, it's not going to get paralyzed. But it means that if you get paralyzed there and you don't have your other full heals, you're just paralyzed until you go to like the Pokemon Center or something.
All right, so Giovanni here. This is a very simple fight. I'm going to use this thing called an X special attack and then spam Scald 3 times. So, Chibi, if there's anything you would like to say, now's a good time.
I think this one has already been guessed, but I just want to let you know y'all are overthinking this. $34 from Digital Zero. My dex guess is number 34, Nidoking, because adding all of the date numbers for today, 1 plus 8 plus 25 equals 34. So Nidoking is the Pokemon of the day, right?
Oh, that's an X attack.
So yeah, sorry, it's not. It's not.
That was so good, it caught me off guard.
Y'all are overthinking this. It's not like a Taylor Swift Easter egg. All right, $10.80 from Salmon Buffalo. Another overthinking since it's January 8th, 1-8. How about 108 dimes for the Pokemon I always forget is Gen 1 Lickitung.
Not Lickitung. We also talked about that one.
Much love to AGDQ. $47 from Dex Guess Obsessed. Is the Dex Guess Parasect? He never gets enough love.
Nope.
Nope.
$6.80 from Math Pikachu for the Pokemon of the day. Is it number 68, our favorite four-armed fighting friend, Machamp?
No.
Nope.
$48 from a fellow Pokemon trainer. Here's a dex guess for Venonat.
Nope.
$97 from Thomas Yump, number 97. Nobody remembers Hypno, probably.
I remember Hypno. But no.
Gosh, should we give another hint?
We might have to. Otherwise, this Pikachu is going to be very safe and secure on my shoulder for the next hour or so. Do we have any hints in mind?
I got one.
Okay.
This is going to really narrow it down because I'm starting to feel bad for y'all. It flies.
Ooh. You can't miss it now. It's got to be. You got to lock it in. So yeah, donate that amount of the dex number of that Pokemon. You will see this Pikachu fly. I'll throw it high too. Don't worry. And then everyone's gonna see how bad I am at throwing or physical activities, and it's gonna be embarrassing, but it's okay. I'm gonna throw it up, and then it's gonna 5 feet behind me.
All right, so we're gonna grab a rare candy here now that Silphco is saved, and get ourselves our 49th Pokemon with Lapras.
Yep. And then we're gonna get one more gift Pokemon, the Porygon. You get both of them just for beating Silphco, so same clearance requirement to unlock them. It's just Porygon's outside the building. So gonna go ahead and do that. And then we got a big shopping menu. We're gonna finally buy X speeds and other X items. We're gonna get some max repels because yes, we no longer are catching anything. We're just gonna repel through the rest of the game pretty soon here once we get to areas where there are Pokemon again.
Also, you should probably potion before Sabrina.
Yeah.
Yes,
that
I
slash
do need
crit.
to do that.
Yeah, one of the reasons that we delay this shop, so obviously we need money in order to buy all these items, but the game also gives you expanded shops as you gain badges. So we mentioned earlier that we couldn't have bought the Ultra Balls as a backup because we didn't have enough badges. At this point in the game, we have 5 badges, and with 5 badges, we unlock the ability to get those max repels. We've got hyper potions in the shop, all the good stuff that we would need. There is a modified version of shopping that you can do if you're really down bad for healing items. You can actually shop after 4 badges. You still can get the hyper potions, but you have to rely on super repels instead of max repels.
I will heal, don't worry. Just gonna do the shop first. That way I can heal and then I can also swap at the same time.
Yeah, another small menu optimization is you'll notice that Etchy is buying 11 X Special Defends, 11 of the the X speeds. That's because you can actually page up and page down by going left and right, and it just increases by 10. And so because we need 5 X speeds, it's just a lot faster to get 11.
Yep. But yeah, 50 Pokemon. We did it, chat. Hopefully. Hopefully I didn't miscount. We will know when we try to enter Koga's gym if we did miscount. It'd be really fun to just see 51 too, but
The Cat Expo run of the month is kicked by Koga.
Oh, yeah.
You could submit this.
All right, so we just got to show a Pokemon level 45 or higher to enter this gym. Went ahead and did that. And then it's time to try to enter all these teleport paths perfectly while also dodging trainers. So while I focus on this, did anyone get it yet, Chibi?
I'm not Chibi, but I can tell you that
Oh,
no
yeah.
one has gotten it yet. Chat is speculating they're almost there. Maybe.
Maybe,
We do
okay.
have a couple of the same guesses. $22 from Ben, who says a Poka guess for my first level 100 Pokemon, number 22, Firo.
It is flying, and it is an evolution, but no.
Okay, a couple people didn't get it there. How about this one? Well, no, I'm going to save this one for Chibi.
Okay.
How about this
Rigged.
one? Oh, so many. Okay, $22 from Firo. That says Firo. We already said no to that. $22 from Ethaloon. That says Firo. Boy, they're really narrowing in. $15 from Vamp30016. It says 15 for Beedrill.
That is flying, and it is an evolution. That's a good point.
Okay,
But
and
no.
here is Chibi.
Here's Chibi. All right, before Chibi can tell us what it is, we will have to do this fight first with Sabrina, third to last gym leader. One of the more annoying ones because what always happens is Mr. Mime sets up light screen, except when it doesn't, and then you save like 20 seconds out of nowhere. It's extremely rare, but that definitely won't happen today, right?
Yeah, there's basically 3 versions of this fight. There's the most common one where it just light screens turn 1, and you basically do the standard setup. It can light screen turn 2. That basically means you just have to waste a turn like healing or something. Or it could just not use light screen in the first 2 turns, which like almost never happens.
Yeah. There's the light screen turn 1. So that's basically what you want anyway, because you're just never getting the no light screen. If that does happen, you can just immediately start attacking, but now I'm forced to just kind of wait a little bit. So I'm going to do an X speed, and I'm just going to go for a Scald 2-shot here. And then once I finish up the Mr. Mime, the light screen should wear out, and then I can just sweep the rest of the team. Burn is not what you want to see because it always gives you status lag here, which we haven't talked about because it has not. Whoa, it didn't happen. It's very likely to happen there just because of how much text goes up usually.
Yeah,
but-
during fights, the camera's always panning around to different angles, and when a Pokemon is inflicted with the status effect, it won't continue the fight until the next camera pan happens for some reason.
Yeah, if the animation's showing for like paralysis or burn or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's really annoying, and it's one of the reasons why like I do less status type stuff in mid game with Eevee version, even though you have 2 moves that can inflict a really useful status, because half the time you get like status lag and lose like 4 seconds because of it. So a little bit of a risky thing to do, but it is very useful to save time and go fast. And then we're gonna Scald this Jinx, and then that is Sabrina. And then Chibi, did anyone guess the Pokemon of the day?
We actually have about 4 people.
Ooh.
All send in $42.
Oh.
My favorite is from You Better Not. They said, if you pick Golbat, something is wrong with you.
Well, that's me, my bad.
We're going to
Hey!
amend the Pokemon of the day.
Something is wrong with all of us. We did, in fact, pick Golbat. Thank you so much for playing that little game with us. That was so much fun.
That was very surprising with how well we did with picking a random mod.
What's really funny is the first time I asked if we could do a hint, the Golbat was on screen.
Yeah, I know.
I almost said that it can fly like while it was on the screen again. I was like, maybe.
I will throw this Pikachu momentarily.
Yes, we have to see if we can make it into Koga's gym.
Yes, I also have to move some X items around, but
And you also owe 3 pets, unless there were some pettings while the
there were
Thomas
not
graced
any
you.
pettings, no. So yeah, we're one of the things that happened with Fuchsia City that we didn't talk about at all is there's no Safari Zone in this game, which you might have been wondering why we like catch all these Pokemon in this Safari Zone. We could get Pokemon there. They replaced it for the Go Park, which is supposed to tie in with Pokemon Go, so you can transfer Pokemon from Go to this game, and then you can put it into Pokemon Home and do whatever you want with it. So that's not in this game. And as a result, you can't get the gold teeth in the Safari Zone because it doesn't exist. So they just moved it there and you can get it. And now we can use that to get strength later. Because they also moved like HM stuff. It's kind of weird. But let's see. Did we get 50 Pokemon? We did.
Hey,
Let's go.
Let's go. And your reward is Caden.
I do want that back, by the way.
Yep. So the next fight coming up is just a regular gym trainer
Yeah,
named
nothing
Hayden.
special here. No.
The only bad thing it can do is toxic and minimize and protect and lower your special attack with Moonblast. So all 4 of its moves can be bad.
Yeah, no problem.
It might actually be the most troll moveset ever created.
It's so
It's
funny.
really bad.
Also, literally every Pokemon we fight in this gym has Protect, so get ready to potentially lose a lot of turns or
Yeah.
potentially save a lot of turns if it just doesn't use it.
This gym is awesome. My Eevee world record loses like 20 seconds here, and because I lost the time here, it caused an issue later because I lost too many Psychic PP. So then I lost another 20 seconds on the future split, but that's the perfect thing. That's exactly what you want. You just want to see Protect because then it means it's not going to Protect again. You Psychic, and you're through.
Usually.
Yeah, usually.
The AI is very strange.
Shout out to Furist, who always seems to get the worst Caden fights of all time.
All right, no Protect.
Oh,
on
oh,
Beedrill.
wow.
That's really good.
That Beedrill, you can Protect like 99% of the time.
Yeah, and then we got Koga after this, after I snake through a bunch of trainers. The dream scenario is Koga just decides to turn 1 explode with the Weezing, and then you're at low HP as a result, which means the other Pokemon are more likely to attack you because they think they can KO you, and then they don't protect as a result. But usually what happens here is like Toxic or Protect turn 1, and then you have the normal fight of just X special attack, sweep the team. Hope you don't get too many Protects. It's kind of out of your control. But we'll see what Weezing decides to do turn 1 here. And if you do get Toxic, it's really annoying because you kind of have to heal it because it's too slow to deal with the poison damage every single turn, especially with Toxic. Adding extra turns, you could actually just die because of it.
Yeah, the poison damage goes higher every turn.
Yep.
If you don't heal it.
But yeah, this is not only the hardest gym leader requirement, it is also one of the worst gyms in the game. The worst gym, I would say.
Yeah, this is supposed to be your 5th gym.
Yeah.
Like, canonically, so...
So we get Protect. All right, very normal. I can Scald through the Venomoth. If you have a good Starmie, you can just use Scald, which is really nice because then if they Protect, you're just losing Scald PP, which does not matter. Psychic PP is much more important. It is less important in this category because normally you need to save a Psychic for one of the Victory Road trainers that we're going to end up skipping, hopefully.
There has not been a Protect yet on an attacking turn in this gym,
That's
which
pretty
is
good.
very rare.
Maybe my luck's finally turning around. I will say my luck's actually been very good post-Pidgey. Maybe we used all my bad luck on that. You spoke too soon. Just a little Protect. And then this Muck is like so favored to Protect. Pretty much always happens. And then after this, we're going to get Strong Push from the Warden. It's not the Safari Zone Warden, so I don't know. It's some Warden of something. Strong Push is just the Strength HM from older games. That didn't Protect.
Only 1 Protect.
That's really, really good.
That's a great Koga's gym.
Yeah, why couldn't this happen on my record, dude? Come on. And we got really good stats still, too, so this is awesome. And that's Koga.
All right, 1 gym left.
1 gym. But we got to do a little bit of a side quest before we can get to that gym. First, we got to get Strength, and then we also have to go to the gym, talk to somebody, and then leave the gym, and then come back to the gym. It's great. We're going to learn about something really cool and unique about this game that we have not talked about yet. But yeah, we're going to go get this HM, or Secret Technique that used to be an HM. I guess, do we have normal donations now, Chibi?
Yeah, we do. There's some that have just been kind of like grouping to the side here. So we did get $100 from Square Salami. Greetings to all. Just wanted to leave a bad joke here. What did Pikachu tell Ash when he was getting really hungry?
I don't know.
Pikachu.
Yeah, they did say it was a bad joke.
I get it.
So also, funnily enough, I will find it later. But so we got $20 from Randall Eats Cheese. Heyo, Etchy, I can't watch because work has decided I'm not getting an easy week. But go get them and hope you won the star slots.
Thank you. I did. I won enough. Shout out Randall, the Pikachu NMS world record holder. I didn't qualify myself at all, I guess, at the start of the one. But yeah, I have Eevee NMS record and Eevee any % record. I've bounced around which records I have constantly with this game, just depending on how much I want to deal with which version. And I don't think I want to deal with Pikachu anymore, so I'm probably just going to stick with the Eevee stuff. Oh my gosh, it said OMG He on the dialogue options. But yeah, we're going to go here. Professor Oak is going to explain that this is not just a Pokemon Yellow with Pokemon Go mechanics remake thingy. It's also got Mega Evolutions. There's Mega Evolutions in the game. What? We can be Mega Mewtwo, really powerful. But We're not going to worry about those in the run. We can't use any on our Starmie. There's no Mega Starmie, unfortunately. So we're just going to be pretty normal. And then once we get through this, we're just going to actually run straight back to Viridian. It's not worth it to fly because it's pretty slow. As again, so for some reason, HMs in Pokemon are always just kind of slow. And it's pretty fast to run because Rapidash is really fast. So
Yeah, we also used the repel earlier, so we don't have to worry about dodging those encounters.
yep, that's the big thing. Because you would get 3 encounters immediately on stepping on Route 1 normally with a Rapidash running through it. Here, Eevee actually gets a gift, so maybe I should have pet the Eevee before, because now Eevee will try to give us something.
I think this gift is waited until post-game. This is the one she gives you when you load up the file at the end.
Okay,
The bouquet.
How many pets? I think I owe
3.
3, okay.
I guess while Etchy's getting ready to do that, Giovanni's Gym is kind of an interesting puzzle. The sort of intended way to do it involves going into the middle area and then baiting a trainer on the left side to walk up. Then you're going to go all the way up and around the gym, fighting trainers along the way, and then sneak in behind that trainer that walked up. And then take one of their spinner pad things. Instead, what we're going to do is we're actually going to talk to this trainer from behind, and he's not going to walk up anymore. And because he's not going to walk up, we can actually sort of go to where the game wants us to go and just sort of walk down. It is obviously faster because it's 2 or 3 less trainers to have to fight. But something that trips up runners, especially like every time, is there's a fight in here that's a little bit dangerous. And if you die to that fight, when you come back into the gym, the trainer is automatically pushed forward. They do not retain their original position, so you have to actually remember that and go below them instead.
Speaking of the next fight is actually one of the big differences between the 90% mount skip category and no mount skip category. So usually in no mount skips, you would have Hydro Pump at this point, and Hydro Pump can one-shot this Nidoking here. Unfortunately, the Nidoking is also very dangerous and can just one-shot you with Mega Horn, so if you miss that Hydro Pump, you are pretty likely to just be dead. In this category, we don't teach Hydro Pump, so we're just going to 2-controller it, and we can either use Scald or Psychic plus something else with Rapidash to take it out.
Yep, we're going to do Psychic Stomp here and should always KO. And yeah, we obviously this does lose time versus just doing the Hydro Pump, but we're making up that time by just not teaching Hydro Pump, and it ends up being basically a wash. Unless Rapidash levels up in battle. Leveling up in battle is about 4 seconds slower than leveling up outside of battle. So that's another like optimization and routing thing that matters for party management early on, especially where you want to try to avoid in-battle level ups as much as possible, because it really does add up over time. So there's so many like random variables that lose you time in this game, and it's really impossible to track all of them. This fight's free, so if we want to get any donations, now's a good time.
So yeah, funnily enough, earlier we got $50 from Shen, and I think this was either sent in right before it got guessed or like right after. Hey folks, Shen here, big fan, Etchy. Donating 42 for our favorite Gen 1 Sprite monstrosity, Golbat, and my team of 8 Bulbasaurs are giving me $1 each for a chance at that awesome blanket. The PSR community is amazing and so happy to be a part of it with all of you.
I'll take this. Thank you, Shan.
We also got $250 from Sumo. They say, woo!
Woo! I'm going to do the boring shred in this fight because I'm kind of forced to, because I accidentally used an X attack earlier. The X item routing is very specific because X items give you friendship. And as I mentioned earlier, when we saw those turnarounds with the Eevee where I was like looking back at you being like, oh, I love you. We hate that as speedrunners. So the entire endgame, we're trying to not get friendship for the Agatha fight, and we're trying to delay it as long as possible, which will end up being Lance. Because boss battles also give a ton of friendship, so you can only delay it so long. But yeah, I need to make an extra X item, and by doing so, by doing this fight, I skip an X defend that I would normally use.
Yeah, the standard fight here is you just send in 1 controller, and you set up an X defense, and then the next special attack, and then KO the Dugtrio. That fight's a little bit scary because you have to survive 3 Earthquakes without getting crit usually. This one's pretty free because you only get hit with 1 Earthquake, and the Earthquake is doing spread damage, which means it's only doing 75% as much damage.
So you'll never die to crit. Totally safe always.
Yeah. The only bad thing is it is possible for the Rapidash to Power of Love, which we haven't really talked about because it hasn't really come up. But it is possible if your friendship is high enough that you can survive a hit on 1 HP. Like they tough it out or something like that.
Yep.
And that can happen, and then you're just sort of sitting here with a Rapidash doing nothing, which takes some time.
And that is Giovanni. It'd probably be good to throw in some donations right now before I yap a lot coming up soon.
Yeah, absolutely. I have $198 from Jason. Since we guessed Mon of the Day, here is a donation for my personal favorite Pokemon, Murkrow. Why is it only available in Kanto and Gen 2? That's a great question.
You could ask that about so many Pokemon in Gen 2. Gen 2 is interesting.
$25 from ZZ Top. After having been diagnosed recently with a tumor, this year's GDQ is a little closer to home. Congrats to all the runners and everything you do. Huge shout out to dear friends Jay and Donna, who have just welcomed their beautiful baby girl into the world today. Audience, let's get a round of applause for Jay and Donna. Congratulations.
At the Revive, don't let me forget.
Okay.
I have $5 from the back couch.
Whoa.
Hi. Hey, Etchy, how much would we have to donate for you to give Eevee a cool hairdo for the end game?
I don't know if Tech will like that because I had to remove the thing from the dock to do that. But I don't know. How much do you all think? Actually, I don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
Wait, I don't. I haven't done it in so long. I
There
did it.
goes that idea.
I think I did it for RPG Limit Break. The thing.
You just have to swipe on the screen.
You
a
just
certain
swipe
way.
a bunch?
I don't remember what it
Okay.
is.
Well, what do we
But
got
like-
right now? 644. If we hit, I don't know, what's a good amount for by the end of the run to do it, or by Lance, I guess. 650.
Sure.
Sure. Yeah, if we hit 650.
All right. So this is Rival 5. This is the a pretty interesting battle with two controllers. So it is very, very intentional that we are using Rapidash as our partner in this fight. We mentioned earlier you can use Aerodactyl as a ride for the upcoming skips. But if you're using Aerodactyl, this fight actually doesn't quite work out. So we talked about the trainer AI sending out Pokemon in certain orders depending on type effectiveness and moves and all that jazz. It is very pivotal and important that we use, or that we get an X speed up on turn 2, which means we cannot have the Jolteon or the Raichu, depending on the game, come out in the second position. And so by having a fire type and a water psychic type, we bait out either the Vileplume second or the Marowak second. You would never end up in a situation with the Raichu coming out second. So it is very, very important.
Just got my level 50 there. That feels late. Did I die?
I think you just didn't use a candy after.
You did not
Sabrina.
candy after Sabrina.
Interesting.
I thought that was intentional.
I thought it was intentional
That,
too.
I mean,
but-
yeah, the Starmie is good enough. I can just do that. But then I could have done X defense on Giovanni, I guess. I probably just candy now then, right?
May as well.
Yeah.
Work?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have it.
Continuing.
It's fine. All right, well, before I do that, though, it is time to talk a little bit about mount skips, because it is time to do some incredibly precise glitches that let us skip the last 4 trainers of the game. So, again, just to kind of summarize it, if you want more explanation, just go on YouTube, look up Etchy mount skip, you'll find it. It'll probably be the first video. But the key thing here is I'm doing incredibly precise setups to position my trainer in a very precise spot that is a 0.72 unit window. And again, a unit is basically that. It's like, nope, not like that. But it is incredibly tiny. You can look at 2 pictures of the game where your character looks like it's in the same position, but it's actually on like 2 different positions, like unit-wise. It could be like 1 position apart from each other. So it's really hard to do. The way we position ourselves in a consistent manner is, 1, using a Joy-Con that is third-party and it's like gated or notched, whatever you want to call it, Joy-Con, so I can go in straight lines. And then I use the natural terrain of the cave to always guarantee I end up in the same position. Because if I just always run into the same wall with like Rapidash, and then I move up, I'm always in the same like X coordinate or something. So I'm scared for this. These are really, I cannot stress how precise these are.
These are absolutely super precise. And it's also worth mentioning, when Etchy mentions the notch Joy-Con, it's not necessarily like a physical notch. It is something like on the board that causes the Joy-Con stick to like hold straight lines.
Yeah.
And not all of those are the same either. Some straight lines are straighter than others.
Yeah, this one's physically notched, but also there's digital assistance as well. And then there's some Joy-Cons that just have the digital assistance and can do it without physical notches. So I'm gonna run out my rappel here, and I will need quiet time for all of these. I'm gonna do some funny movement here. I swear it's all on purpose to get our positioning just right. I'm very confident that this is good, but I'm just gonna save. There's no reason not to. Cool, that's the
Nice.
first trainer skill. That was Naomi, the worst fight in the run.
Yeah.
Again, Naomi usually requires hitting a hydro pump, and if you miss the hydro pump, you die, or you have to do a safe strat, which is really slow. So
And the hydro pump usually isn't guaranteed to kill it.
exactly, yeah. So Nelson, my lineup technique's a little bit different here. I'm going to use a visual cue of the pebble on the ground and line up my feet very specifically with it, and hopefully the Joy-Con doesn't suck. So let's see, because it sometimes does. That's probably too much there.
Yeah, I mean, we are using third-party Joy-Cons, which are not always the best, so...
Normally I wouldn't ever save for these, but okay, that's another one. Cool, that one's saved. I have to save just in case something happens. I want to make sure I can show all the skips, but it would be very slow for them to mess up. So we're gonna get a free heal here from Officer Jenny. Helps us to not have to center or use any menus before we enter the Elite Four, which is coming up very soon.
And then we're going to do a trainer skip that is not a mount skip, actually. This is one of the last skips we found, obviously before the mount skips. It was super early in the game's life, but it was one of the last ones found. Takes advantage of the small vision, kind of like some of the other ones we saw.
Okay. Push that boulder, moves that gate down. Now we do one of those trainer skips, the one Eddaket was just talking about. It's also, potentially I can mess it up, but hopefully it's fine. I have not hit this trainer in a very long time, so we'll see. Go into this corner, run up this wall, down and around
There you
them.
go.
They don't see us.
Beautiful.
And now it's time for another mount skip. This one I definitely have to save for, because if I miss, I will almost certainly die. This is a weird spot. Who wants to explain it? Amber, do you want to explain the two trainers here?
Yeah, so if you're not doing mount skip, you have to fight one of these two trainers. So there's Caroline, who's the girl facing right, and then Colby, who is the guy facing left. Nice skip. And so in no mount skip, we face Caroline. She's not too bad. There's a jinx that can be kind of annoying. But
You have to hydro pump it.
Yeah,
Kinda
but
sucks.
it's normally fine.
But Colby.
Colby leads with an electrode, and that electrode will destroy you.
Yep. Yeah, so if you mess up that skip, your run is over. Just straight up, yeah. Like, if you mess up the skip on, like, Dawson, which is the trainer right up there that I'm going to pass in just a little bit, you just fight him. It's not a big deal. You lose some time, but your run's not dead. But Colby is straight up, you are not surviving. If you do survive the fight, you probably lost, like, 3 minutes, so.
Yeah.
And this last trainer is the one that the mount skips were discovered on.
Yeah.
Totally by
Yeah.
accident.
Shout out to Cruel, longtime Pokemon speedrun enthusiast who accidentally skipped the trainer because they didn't know they had to talk to him and just ran right past him and didn't get seen, and it caused a huge frenzy in the community. Again, you can check out the story on the YouTube channel. Just look up Etchy mount skips.
Yeah.
And then I need to position my feet. I'm looking for something like that. Again, I'm very confident this will work, but I'm just going to save just in case.
Yeah, one thing to mention as well is that these lineups are very precise with the character. And congratulations on getting all the mount skips.
Thank you, thank you.
Try.
The boy character, the hat that they wear with the shoes are very slightly different from the girl character. So if Etchy were to use the girl character, the setups that he uses would actually have to be slightly different.
I was very determined to use girl character, and then I just could not get consistent setups on some of the trainers for this run, so I had to pick boy one for this. I'm so sorry. But I am back on a regular Joy-Con now, thank goodness. And we are about to enter the Elite Four. But yeah, even those skips have evolved so much over time, because we finally got everything figured out back in 2022. And we originally did them all with Aerodactyl because it was just easier to get setups for it. And then over time, I figured out different techniques for how to line yourself up, different ways to use visual cues, different ways to use the terrain to your advantage, and was able to find some really, really fast skips there. But they are hard to do. They are super, super hard. You do not have to do those if you want to learn this run. You can just run no mount skips, which is the more popular category anyway. Totally fine. And yeah, I'm going to be doing Elite Four. I'm going to be doing the strats with Rapidash. So Rapidash will come in to help in some of the later fights. This fight, however, is going to be extremely simple. I'm going to use 3x special attacks and just Scald spam through the fight. I did not candy, so I guess I don't know. There's not really a rush to use it now.
No.
I'll probably just keep holding it for now. Maybe use it on the Agatha menu, I guess.
Yeah, you should hit the next level by then.
Yeah, so yeah, plenty of donation time right now.
Absolutely. Everyone, I just want to point out we are at the Elite Four, which, as you know, is the typical final part of a Pokemon game. And we have not pet the Eevee the maximum amount of times that we're allowed. What is that? Y'all need to be sure when you're getting those donations and that you are choosing that Pet the Starter incentive. All right, so even Foil Man sending $50 agreeing, OMG, he needs pets.
He does.
Eevee deserves all the pets. He's been working so hard during this. We also have $23.55 from Echo104B. Have to get my donation in during the Pokemon run, so here's 471 nickels for my favorite Pokemon, 471 Glaceon. Now pet that Eevee.
I'll pet the physical one real quick. There you go.
We have $25 from Infamous Gengar. Always great to see Pokemon in a GDQ. Let's go Quick Leafy.
Ooh.
Get it? We have $100 from a fellow Pokemon trainer. Love GDQ, been watching since 2016, and I appreciate all you are doing. Thank you for that generous donation.
Thank you, thank you.
$52 from Greyheim. Couldn't miss donating during a Pokemon run. $52 for two of my favorite Pokemon, Raichu. And $50 from Funniful Entertainment. First time donating. Thank you all for the amazing run. Please take these two Pikachus for this journey.
Thank you.
All right, so next up is Bruno. Bruno is like Lorelei, but easier.
Yeah, I use 1x special attack, and then I spam Psychic. So I guess, yeah, we can do a few more donations because this might be hard in the next two fights, so. And then I think I said 650. Yeah, if we hit 650K, I'll give Eevee a haircut before the end of the run. You have until it lands, though, to do that. That's also when I'll probably do all my final pets, so hurry up and get those in. Next special attack here.
Yeah, the only thing that can happen on this fight, because you have a partner, you're typically going to get Stealth Rock there. But if you go in without a partner, which is sort of like the optimal strategy, you get hit by an Earthquake and get knocked down kind of low, depending on how your Lorelei went. And there is one Pokemon in this fight that has a priority move that it doesn't like to move, or doesn't like to use, but it can use, called Faint. And if you get fainted, it does about 20 damage and you could die.
I still don't believe it's real. Never happened
I've
to me.
never seen it.
I've never died to it. I think I've gotten it, but I've never died to it.
I've never seen it. I think it's happened like total, like a single-digit number of times across like all the Let's Go runners.
And they're all Randall.
They're all...
Yeah. So
Yeah, big shout out to the Let's Go speedrunning community while I'm here, because it's literally one of the best speedrunning communities I've ever been a part of. A lot of them are here right now. It's one of the most active Pokemon speedrun communities too. Everyone's so nice and helpful. Everyone's always ready to help you. We have really good resources if you are interested in learning the run. You don't have to do the mount skips, don't worry about those. Again, it's the one that got me into Pokemon speedrunning and streaming really, really heavily. Can't recommend it enough. Infinite skill ceiling, but also the easiest to get into, so definitely recommend it. We're getting to Agatha now, and I am going to do the one controller strat. Did I level? I did level up.
Yes, you did.
So I guess now is a good time to do it. I'm going to go ahead and heal up. I wonder if this is just like the correct candy route with this strat, or with these stats. It's like a 141, 141, I believe, for special attack and speed.
That's what it was.
But yeah, this fight's really bad normally.
yeah, so this fight we're going to be setting up an X special and an X speed on Arbok, and then we're going to attack. Sounds pretty simple. Here's the problem, the Arbok.
Yeah.
The Arbok usually will glare you turn one, and then you'll get hit by Crunch, you'll full restore, it'll Crunch again, and then you go. Sometimes it decides to Crunch turn one, and if that happens, it's really bad. So hopefully that doesn't happen. Okay, glare turn one.
Normal.
Yeah, Crunch can also crit, Crunch can also defense drop.
Status lag,
Those
normal.
are pretty bad.
That's defense drop. Not
Your
what you want to see.
defense on the Starmie is really good. Though.
Yeah, I might
Actually,
be
it might just
fine.
be fine.
Did you see my defense?
I didn't see the defense, but
Oh, I
I
have
saw...
turnarounds.
Oh.
That's annoying. All right, that's okay. There is a way through this. No problem.
Yeah.
So now that you're low HP, probably the only thing I'd worry about from here is just that Golbat has quick attack.
Yep.
So
Yep.
sometimes he doesn't always use quick attack. Sometimes he just decides to use crunch and hit you back to low HP.
Yeah,
again,
so
it
I
can be
am going to
very
summon
annoying.
the second controller, which might hurt the barely make us smit chance, but it will increase my finish the run chances, so I'm going to do that.
We love that.
But I don't have to summon it yet. You can something that hasn't shown up at all yet, but will be relevant later, is you can summon the second controller, second player, at any point in time in the battle, as long as you can choose a move, right? So I can delay it until the Golbat actually comes out, and then I'll pop it out, and then we'll be good to go.
Yeah, there is a safer version of this fight where what you can do is you can actually skip grabbing that full restore altogether. And if you come into this fight with either a bird like Dodrio or a fish like Golduck, you can bait out basically the Wheezing second, which allows you to set up an X speed before the Gengar.
Yep.
If you were to do two controller with just the Rapidash, it's pretty likely that you would get the Gengar to come out second, and that is not good.
Yeah, the upside of this, though, is I get to max elixir now, which lets me skip a menu later. I just got to make sure I don't use all my psychics. So now I don't have to heal going into the next fight. I'm totally fine. I'm just going to, where's the elixir? There you are. Do that there. And then yeah, after Lance is when I'll do my final pets. So how are we looking, Chibi?
As of right now, you owe us 2 pets.
Okay.
But chat, we have a potential to get like 14 more pets after that. So I need your help in making this happen. So $25 from Vistalite. They say favorite Pokemon train. $25 from number 25 Pikachu, although Eevee is cute too. So now, I know Etchy earlier said, please don't tell us your favorite Pokemon because we need you to
Yes.
guess this other one.
Now
but
you can.
now I want to know your favorite Pokemon. And make sure that you are scrolling to the bottom of that donation page and you are choosing the Pet the Starter incentive, which speaking of, you owe 3 pets now.
Okay, perfect.
So we have a chance to get 13 more pets. This Eevee deserves it. He's been working so hard during
Second
this
to last
game.
fight of the game. You got to get him in ASAP.
We got to get it in right now. And don't forget that those donations are also going towards unlocking our bonus game Fallout New Vegas, because this is a twofer that is a milestone incentive. When we reach $700,000 total raise, we will unlock that game.
Oh, wow.
Yes, dude. Let's go.
Wow.
You know, when I saw you weren't full HP, I was a little nervous about that, but I thought it'd be fine.
Incredible, dude.
That is
That
un...
I'm out of revives. Oh my gosh. Oh no.
Everyone, let's get some love for Etchy. Let's go. We can figure this out.
I mean, you've got a
There's
mount skip
like a-
save. That's...
Yeah, that's gonna
Yeah.
add like a lot of time. Yeah, I have to go all the way back to Dawson and redo the Elite Four. That is all I can do. I guess we can see how far we can get in that time. I'm so sorry. I didn't realize I was out of revives because this run was so bad. Okay, so in that case, we'll see how far we can get with this Rapidash really quickly. We are at +6 special defense, and we're gonna beef up as much as possible. So I'm gonna heal up here, Hyper Potion. I think we can beat Lance. I think we can do it. At +6 special defense, we'll try. I also have the 1x defense. We'll try to pop that.
Yeah, it also
Man.
only has so many Hydro Pumps, so after that,
Yeah, it's gonna stop eventually.
It might already be out.
yeah.
All right, so now let's pop up. We're gonna do just X special attacks. I think I already used one, but I'll just.
Of course.
Cool. Wow, that is interesting. That was interesting for sure. Well,
Listen, what did we say at the beginning? It's not a Pokemon run if something weird doesn't happen.
Very true.
that is so unlikely to happen. I cannot stress that enough. That is basically like the safest fight I could have done. And the only way I could have lost it was if I had died enough times in the previous fights. So let me go ahead and do those pets really quickly. How many do we go?
4.
4, okay. The good news is Eevee. Woo!
Eevee.
There we go. And you know what? Just for you, chat, have a little snack too. The good news is those fights were very boring because I was going to do safe strats the entire time. Funny how that worked out. So you really didn't miss anything except for a Mega Pidgeot, which I was going to troll you with. But
Can we add in 2 more pets?
oh, of course, of course. There you go. But regardless, I'm really glad I got to show off the mount skips. That is the main appeal of this run and what I wanted to show off. It's a huge development with this game, and so many strats have come across over the years, and I'm really glad we got to show kind of the evolution of this run, because so often the new Pokemon Switch games kind of come out, they get on GDQ, and then we don't see them again for however long. But I'm really glad we got to show this run 5.5 years later with all the new stuff. Thank you all so much for watching. I've been Etchy. Can you all say goodbye to yourselves?
Yeah, I'm Eddaket. If you want to run these games, I can't stress it enough. Please join like the Switch PSR Discord. Any Pokemon game, we basically have it broken out by generation.
Yeah, we usually host tournaments every year too, and a lot of people use that as a way to kind of get themselves into it.
Yeah, we also have the tournament Discord. People are literally doing races like every weekend. You'll hear somebody, usually Randall, be like, somebody want to do a race this weekend? This community is so active. There's so many people in this community. I've met so many amazing, amazing people through it.
Yep.
1 more pet.
One more pet. Fine. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Sorry about the end of the run. Again, you didn't miss too much, fortunately. That was like the best time, I guess, for that to happen. So thank you again, and keep watching GDQ.